Good enough for me. Okay, cool. Here we go. Opens a notepad, and I had something witty that I was going to say at the start of this, and now I've lost it. We've played a lot of Kingmaker. I'll say that here on the channel. There's been recently a CRPG come out, and we've killed a lot of people, and we've done a lot of things. But never have we ever played the actual Pathfinder 1st Edition Kingmaker, yet here we are, and I don't know what to call this. Kingmaker for realsies? Kingmaker this time it's I have no idea. We'll figure it out, but in any case, welcome. It's time to actually play this thing. I will refer to people by their names in the OBS, or I'll just say everyone really quickly as we start. Thank you guys so much for your support on Patreon. This is the first time in BBG's career that I have cold called somebody who posted on the internet that they were looking for a thing, not even necessarily for what I do, and it panned out. So this is kind of huge for me. We are going to begin with a little bit of, in case you've lived under a rock for a year and haven't played the Kingmaker CRPG, a little bit of premise, and then what I'm going to do. We didn't talk about this in the session 0, but we're going to go as you guys are over, I still don't know how mirrors work, over that way. So people who are watching, because we're only picking up my face right now, so people who are watching can put like a voice to a token. We'll do a little like character introduction. This is who I am. This is why I'm here. This is me mechanically. And then in return for that, and in return for a character like reflection at the beginning of every session after, you guys will get 1 hero point, which can be spent to reroll, cheat death, things to make sure the RNG doesn't screw you, basically, is what it is. But in any case, in the Northern River Kingdoms, again, in case you missed this, there's a place called the Stolen Lands, and it is called such because ever since the days of the ancient empires of the Inner Sea region, no one has really been able to hold on to it. It's changed hands more times than people can count, basically, and present day, it's sort of, I guess the best way to describe it would be a lawless den of scum and villainy for this particular group. And
precisely
my favorite kind of place.
We're going to Tatooine. Joke's on you. We're playing the Star Wars game. Bring your Jedi. And don't bring anything else, because in that game, only the Jedi are good. But next in line, I don't know if I should call them House Sakaris, the Sakaris family, but the Sakaris family of Restov has sent their boy and friends, connections, so on and so forth, into the Stolen Lands to take their shot at establishing a place of, I've been playing too much Red Dead 2 lately, a place of a civilization here in the wilderness, and we will begin with the character introduction with, I don't want to call him the main character, because he's not the main character, but I think he will end up becoming very important, Mr. Kato Sakaris. If you could introduce yourself, why you're here in the Stolen Lands, your mechanical things. You have the floor, sir.
Absolutely, thank you. So yes, I am the main character, clearly. These guys are going to hate me very, very soon because you said that. No, it's so Kato. It's Kato Sicarius. Just for pronunciation.
Hey, fantasy names are hard.
I know. It's cool. Age 20, human of Taldan origin. Born, raised, everything in the city of Rostov. My family, so just to, I don't know if this is going to mesh or this is going to conflict with what you've written, but the general just behind the family is we're not currently one of the noble houses of Rosland. Like we're not one that you would find, generally talked about. We're a well-to-do house. We have connections with the noble houses of the kingdom, and we see this expedition as essentially a means to elevate our family's name to become a true nobility. You could say we're a well-off to do family with connections in nobility, and we're seeking to use this as an opportunity to become a truly noble house, as far as like in an official capacity is concerned. So with that said, Kato basically grew up. I'll give you kind of the quick version of my background. Only child. Mother passed away when I was young, and my father is a very well-known member of society within Rostov. He's actually a Grand Master of a prestigious dueling academy city. So Cato grew up all his life, training under his, receiving lessons and training under his father. When he was old enough, he, went off to his dueling academy, top of his class, very well renowned, many tournament wins under his belt, fearsome warrior. So grew up, in a very proud family. So expect, kind of a pompous type of character, not not conceited, but definitely proud. So does that cover enough?
Yeah. And then like if you could give us the mechanics, he is like his class and things like that.
Yes. So I am a swashbuckler of the Rosslyn Bravos archetype. So proficiency in dueling swords and primary stats, dexterity and charisma would be my two big.
My kind of guy. That's usually how I build them. And also, I guess I'll say this is the only time in my entire career ever playing this game that someone came to the table with the rich parents trait, and I wasn't like immediately throwing eyebrows at them, because it turns out in Kingmaker you need a lot of stuff, and the hero point is yours. And I put a link to what hero points do in our Discord as well, so you guys can like peruse through that. And next we will take it to Sicarius. Is not nearly as hard to pronounce as people with silent letters in their names, but I think that's part of the role play here. Next is it's Cato's right. I guess I have to pronounce it, but it's supposed to be like a joke, I think. But Sedia is next.
Hello. So I am a Kelid barbarian, and I hail the Glenabun uplands in the Stolen Lands. I find myself in the city of Rostov because my tribe has been warring with the predominant tribe in the Stolen Land, the Tiger Lands, and the Tiger Lords, and they have effectively wiped out all of us, and I am the last of my tribe. And I come to the city of Rostov seeking help from the sword lords of the city, because I know of their prowess from my tribe having had trade relations with them in the past. So I know a little bit about the walled city lords, so I come to the city asking for help in getting allies to help me avenge my lost tribe.
Okay. And mechanically you are?
I am a barbarian of specifically the Geminate Invoker type.
Which is actually a really interesting archetype that I do nothing about. It's get free totems, don't hurt your AC when raging. It doesn't seem the worst. And
is she unchained or chained?
It has to be chained because of it modifies the rage. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh, yeah. That would make sense.
She doesn't have rage. She has trance.
Yeah,
which
she
works slightly differently.
She doesn't get mad. She concentrates real good, and then
I basically have a singular focus. I, like Tommy said, I concentrate really, really good, and I zero in on that task, and that is how I play.
How you get it done. Fair enough. Hero point is yours, and I guess I spent a lot of time last night with my people talking about this, trying to like. Because a lot of times in their groups, they'll have people show up with multiple characters that are playing the same class, and they're like, oh, you're stepping on each other's toes. But if you ask me, the only thing better than one barbarian is two barbarians, and that's where we're at. And Kalra is next.
Okay. Yeah, so for this particular game, I've decided to do a terrible accent, mostly to make Esker mad.
Hey, me too.
So Kay, I don't even know how to pronounce her name yet. Kalira. I'll go with Kalira. Kalira. Kalira is a barbarian, superstitious type barbarian. Basically going the anti-magic route. And so a little about her. You can call her Kalira Ashling.
Oh God.
Yes, dear. She is a city-raised half-elf who learned to fight in the dark back alleys. Rustov, honing an unrefined yet vicious combat style, never one to initiate a fight, but once roused, I will end the fight as quickly and decisively as possible, with violent bursts of rage. I tend to hide my elven heritage with heavy oversized garb to conceal my lithe frame and darkening my naturally silver blonde hair to a flat black, wearing it long as to cover the points of my ears. I'm tall yet reformed thug. I joined this party as a hireling of a prominent sword lord. My task is simple: to ensure a proper return on investment for those who chiefly fund this expedition. I am a bit standoffish and quiet. Very few things seem to crack my stoic demeanor outside of magic and those who flaunt it. That's it.
And that's fair. Magic and those who flaunt it are very scary for those of you with a lower will save than some other people. And then you smack them. And the hero point is yours, my friend. And we take it now to the person I originally started talking to set this up. And I'm still kind of... one of the things you learn when you are a YouTuber who, like, another edition of Pathfinder came out and you got popular is, like, you get to fight with imposter syndrome for the first time in your life. And I'm still kind of like, can I really do this thing? And here is someone looking for a GM, and then I am a GM. And bam, boom, here we go. Now we're moving farther up the world. Next up is Iona. And
so my name is actually pronounced Ioana.
Ioana.
Ioana Misani Essel.
Can you say that one more time for me? I want to make sure I get it right.
Ioani Misani Essel.
Okay, got it.
Ioani.
Occultist. I probably.
Yes, I'm playing an occultist.
Everyone point and yell occultist.
Cultist.
Not as funny as if she'd played a witch, but we'll take it.
Yeah.
Witch!
Feeling a little too like real life. So
sorry,
let's see. My character is Isian born. She grew up in Port Ice, where her father is the keeper of the Temple of Abadar. She spent most of her early childhood going to a boarding school based in Rostov, where she met Kato, became friends with him. I don't like to give out too much information about my backstory right away, so I'm going to keep it pretty brief. Kato reached out to her once he, got this whole expedition thing going and invited her along. And so that is why I'm here. And I do occultist stuff.
So we will learn more about you as time progresses.
What's the cultist stuff?
You'll learn more about me as time progresses.
Oh.
And mechanically, she is playing an occultist. And in theory, she doesn't catch a crossbow. We don't miss all of the lore as we go. But fair enough. Hero point is yours, and I don't want to call the last person the man in the yellow hat. But as I look at his art, I see a hat that is yellow, and I'm trying really hard not to say it. There was a point in time in my life where the big bad in the campaign I was running was Haster, and that's all my party called him was the man in the yellow hat. It didn't work out so well, but we'll just take it now to Artorias. I wanted to say Artorias, but I didn't. I don't even really like Dark Souls that much.
Well, I commend your restraint, sir.
Thanks.
All right, so I don't know. You sit there and you wait for it to be your turn, and then you have to deal with your turn when it gets to you. So my character, his name is Artorias Vilmire. He's from Bravroy, that's where he was born, but he technically descends from Cheliax, and I kind of want to pull the same thing where I don't want to give too much away, but I guess out of character a little bit, so you guys have some background. It's Thrun, is that right? I said it Thune forever, and then I noticed the R in there.
Yeah, you got it.
Ascendancy, shortly thereafter, basically. And they continued to worship Eridan. They fled to Bravoy. upon arriving, they were welcomed in by House Regarvia and basically began a life of devotion to them and to Abadar. And my character was born into that tradition. He himself is a full-blooded Chalaxian, but born in Brevoy. And he ties into all of this silliness because at one point in his life, shortly after his parents passed away, he had a crisis of faith, and it was a man by the name of Galadon Essel that helped him through that. And he's calling in a favor right now to watch over his horrible, horrible daughter. He wouldn't say that, but I did.
Fair
Keep
enough.
her out of trouble.
Class-wise, I'm playing an Inquisitor, but you wouldn't know it by what I'll be doing because I'm doing the Tactical Inquisition, or Tactical Inquisitor, Tactical Leader archetype, Tactical Inquisition. So I'll be doing a lot of, at least in theory, buffing and spell casting and kind of trying to control the battlefield.
Okay. That's definitely like the most important thing in the meta is someone to throw down the control spells, I feel like. Also, I think I expected some Abadar from someone given like the nature of Kingmaker, but I did not expect an Inquisitor. And I think the Inquisitor is my favorite divine class, given the like I can cheat the faith a little, I am much more important than the cleric, so on and so forth. And then here comes the
Much more important. I like that.
The taxman coming. Yeah, the cleric has to go to church forever and like get through the cleric 101, I guess is the best way to say it, to have their stuff, whereas Artoris just has a direct line straight to Abadar. And having the proverbial taxman in Kingmaker is not the worst idea. But I ramble. Hero point is yours, and we will pick up. I will put you guys, and I'm sorry to everybody watching, I usually pick up another monitor when I'm picking up Roll20. And to do that now, it means sometimes you would see me picking up OBS and OBS picking up my monitor in a strange divide by zero kind of effect that I can't change because I don't see it in another monitor. So as far as we're watching on the YouTubes right now, we are Theater of the Mind. I will put you guys on a map of the region. It is very big and very, I won't say unexplored. People know what's there. But what is there specifically remains to be seen. Everybody has the things that they've picked up. Everybody has the baggage train and the pavilions and all that. And you guys have, if you see at the top right corner, the only road in the region where this little black dot right here is. There sits a trading post. That trading post.
Can you ping that one more time?
User, ma'am. Sorry. I don't know why I said user. There you go. Bam. Right there.
Thank you.
I'll even shift click so everybody will be forced to move there. Right where the road.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll scroll down.
Whip right there. That represents Brevoy's southern border, and there sits, like I said, it used to be an old Taldan border fort. Present day, it is just a simple trading post. It is run by a sort of like portly, upper middle-aged man named Oleg and his wife, Svetlana. And we basically turn you guys over there as the first leg on your journey has taken you to this quiet little trading post. And you guys have the floor.
We've already met and are kind of on our way already.
Yeah, all of you guys are at least, I won't say you're all best of friends, but like you guys are at least on like a first name basis.
Gotcha.
Well, this place is roomy and uncomfortable.
That's probably a fair assessment. Without making a perception check, you guys can tell, like, as you walk up, there's not really anybody there. There are a couple of, like, chickens and goats scratching around. The place is, I'll air quote, a little fortified, but the fortifications have all kind of, like, run down. The palisade built around it's in one piece, but it's not like there are places where someone could squeeze through. There are a couple of like catapults that are sitting up on like the tops of like little platforms. But the catapults have long since gone into disrepair, and it would take several weeks of getting parts together and putting them together and stuff to make the catapults functional again.
Any place like that we're not here to like meet anyone. We're just here's where we supply and move out, or
Pretty much. This is just kind of the last stop before moving forward moves you into the wilderness. At present, you 5 are the only people here except for the husband and wife that run the place. You guys don't really see either of them. There's kind of like I won't call it a general store setup, but like there is one of the buildings has been repurposed as a storehouse, which is where the business operates. You can hear the sounds of like a hammer hitting nails and somebody grumbling, and from within that building, the smell of some kind of stew.
Ooh. Now you got me interested.
Ah, yes, food. Again, what happens from here forward is entirely up to y'all.
well,
So, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, Kelly would probably just post up somewhere with a good vantage point, just kind of just take a good look at the people in the room, just make sure there's nobody, eyeing them.
Okay. Give me a perception check. Half of us had a session 0.3, I guess. Well said. There's a scroll on here. Okay.
Womp, womp,
Well,
womp.
we are off
That
to
one.
a great start. I will say I used to do it. I don't anymore. But like you guys can fumble a skill check and nothing bad happens to you, except for the fact that on a 7, Kalira doesn't really notice anything. The food smells good. You feel about your traveling companions the way you feel about them.
My goodness.
So, as we approach these this quaint little outpost, Cato exclaims that here we are, the end of the line of civilization. We should probably check in with the locals to see if there's been any activity that they've noticed to the south. Anything that we should be aware of before we take our first steps into the great unknown. And I will approach use the sound and smells that you described to approach the building and peer inside.
Okay, so I guess I'll
Just
ask
creeping
you,
on this building?
Just creeping
on the building.
Just right up in there. Do you think Cato is someone who the commoners would recognize?
Not by face, however, the outfit I am wearing has clear sigils of a well-known academy within the classier areas of the city of Rostov, as it is the iconography of my family's dueling academy. Okay. It's well represented within my outfit. My face, perhaps not, but definitely would appear as someone who is of importance, and I don't know if they would recognize the symbol. It depends how much they keep up with the local sports.
That makes sense. Depends on how much they keep up on their local sports teams. What does it look like? I'm curious.
So basically think of it like it's light armor. It's actually I have a descriptor. Let me just bring this up. So it's a chain shirt, a tabard, leather greaves, your typical light nimble style armor, but the tabard itself is what holds the kind of the sigil of the school on it.
Okay. And we have no what the sigil itself looks like.
No, however, I guess I can use the that icon on my character art. there on the clasp holding the cloak. It's a rampant lion, I believe. Yeah, sorry, I didn't think that far ahead.
It's all good. I figured I would ask because eventually that symbol may become much more appropriate. You walk in and there's again, kind of like the end of middle age and the beginning of getting a little older, stirring the stew pot. She goes, "Oh, Oleg, we have visitors!" And he is on top of a really rickety looking step ladder that is somehow supporting his like girth as he's kind of like balancing, leaning forward, trying to get a nail into the wall to hang up like a picture. And then he turns and what? And he clambers down. "Yes, what can we do for you?" "Oh, come, sit down, have some stew. Oleg, you're being so impolite as usual." And he just kind of harumphs his big mustaches and goes back to trying to set up the painting.
Please don't mind us. My name is Cato, son of Sicarius, or son of Sol Sicarius. My party and I are just passing through, and we just wanted to ask you a few questions about the local area.
"Oh, of course. Please sit. Bring in all of your friends. The stew's almost ready." Oleg kind of like does not pay attention and continues to hammer.
I will have followed Cato inside.
Oh, good. Well done. "No, come sit, dearie. And Oleg, go get the chairs. What are you doing?" And he grumbles off saying something about civilization, and then he comes back carrying some, I guess I can't say folding chairs, but like simple wooden chairs, and sets them around a table that's in there. "You said you had questions?"
I followed them in, but I'm just standing menacingly
in the doorway, kind of just.
Everyone does their best to not look directly in the presumed where the eyes of the taxmaster are.
Kayla just kind of shoulders past him, and then she does a Commander Riker leg over the chair, sit.
Fair enough. Okay. A little bit of Riker, a little bit of Worf shoved through B Riker. I can dig it. Okay.
I approach one of the chairs and sort of like, wipe it, kind of dust it, wipe it off with my gloved hand before carefully kind of sitting just towards the edge of the chair as to not get any of the dirt on my very expensive outfit.
Fair enough. Okay. And Svetlana, her name is Svetlana, she comes bringing out plates of a very like hearty meat and veggie kind of soup and sets 5 bowls around. "You said you had questions, Sonny?" She looks at Cato.
So, okay, I heard someone else queue up. Yes, so my companions and I are going to be making the journey south very shortly.
Yes.
Have you noticed anything in the area south of this? Is this a road? Yeah, south of the road that we should be cautious or aware of before we embark.
She make a sense motive check. The table can make a sense motive check, actually. As this is going on, Oleg, a 6th bowl is brought out for him, and he sits down as well. Grumbles something about civilization. Arcturus has not a whole lot of much on a 9.
Oof.
Cato's 7. Okay. If anybody else wants to try to, even if you don't have ranks in it, you can like attempt. It's not something you have to be trained in.
Yeah, I don't have ranks in it. That's why my roll is terrible. Oh.
All right. So it's Kalira. Between Kalira and, now I'm gonna try to say it. I'm so sorry if I botched this, but Ionia, is that right?
Ionia.
I know. Okay, got it. Cool. Fantasy names are hard.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said it wrong that time. It's Ionia.
Ionia. So pronounce it like I pronounce the god of valor. Got it. Cool. And Senia together, you realize that like when Cato brings up the what's to the south, it makes both Oleg, who is now sat down, and he grumbles something into his stew about how guards were supposed to be sent from Rostov a week ago and they never arrived, and like Svetlana herself looks a little uncomfortable about like what was brought up. She just kind of, oh well, you know, the Uruxi tribes come up sometimes, bring us furs. Bakken will bring us a potion once or twice. Trappers, hunters. But it's pretty clear to 3/5 of the table that they're not telling you everything, or like something is up.
Kalira is like spooning her soup as fast as she can as she eyes Oleg just menacingly. She's just like
God, we have a savage.
And he returns the glare with like an equal. Obviously, like Kalira could probably like pick him up and break him in half over her leg. I can't think of that wrestling move, but it exists. And she could probably do it with relative ease, but Oleg has the gruff to match as he eats his soup also as fast as he can. The guard dogs bark outside, and somehow they sound much more well-mannered than these two.
Just started barking just now?
No, yeah, just like, not like barking, danger, barking for comic relief.
Oh, okay.
I suppose I should be clear. When the party breaks down and buys guard dogs, I should very often flavor text that they are barking to make everyone jump. Got it. Cool. Easy peasy.
So I'm oblivious.
The conversation dies a little down, but yeah, you are, the 7 and the 9 are more concerned with food. In general, oblivious to the fact that these two are hiding something, yeah.
So after she's done scarfing down the entire bowl, she kind of looks at Ogle and then turns to Svetlana and goes, "You're not telling us something. The soup is good though."
Thank you, dearie. Oleg, we need to tell them. I know they're probably not the guards sent for Rostov. And Rostov ain't never done nothing for us, and I've changed voices like 3 times, and I'll do that, haha. Civilization ain't done nothing for us. We moved out here to be farther away from the politics and the war and have a nice, quiet life, and we're still in the border, and we assumed the Brevins would send help for the bandits. He sighs, and as he does so, his shoulders drop like 4 inches as he looks down into his whole body shrinks with, what's the word? I don't want to say sadness, but as if he has been deflated and goes back to eating. Suppose
bandits.
Show up. Yeah, bandits. Some, I don't remember what they call him, Stag Lord or something like that, organized the local ne'er-do-wells.
Did you say Stag Lord?
He nods.
Ionia's eyes also kind of perk up. She looks up from her soup as she hears the name, goes back to eating.
They mostly leave us alone. They come once a month. We pay them, and he stops eating to throw up the real big air quotes protection, and then they leave. They get greedier and greedier each time.
Senya gets visibly upset and spits on the floor and says, "That's not a stag."
Present company excluded. Nobles haven't done much for anyone, even in Rostov. But there is some things I do know about protection rackets. They're not only are they lucrative, but there's a saying we have in Rostov for the protection rackets. It's good money until they get a backbone. Yeah. Or they break yours.
Behind my mask, I'm rolling my eyes.
So
I give Kalira, is that right?
You can call me Cal, it's fine.
Cal,
As
a
we all
stern
shorten
kind of.
everybody's names because we
Yeah,
don't want
Cal.
to learn how to pronounce them.
I give Cal kind of like a stern glare at the offhand comment he just made at the beginning of his statement.
Don't misgender me, sir.
Sorry.
Just because I'm tall
Yes,
and
her.
strong doesn't make
Okay.
me any more or any less a woman.
Before looking back to, it's Oleg, is it?
Yeah.
I don't know what has delayed the guards. I can assure you that the people of Rostov do everything they can to protect those that are under their charge. However, I could send a message back to the city to see if we can speed things up a bit. I do have some connections.
Oleg kind of harumphs at this.
Cal.
You guys all know, like, the closest city is several days off from where
Is
you
it?
guys are
Okay.
now. Yeah.
Sorry.
Svetlana looks up and just, if we don't have much, we'd be willing to give you and all of your baggage train free room and board for the night if you'd be willing to help. Certainly you all look capable of defending yourselves.
I'd be willing to take what has been taken, if you don't mind not getting all of your stuff.
I send another stern glare towards Cal. Forgive my companion.
I'm also
we do
shaking my head.
We do not require your belongings. We would be happy, wouldn't we?
I mean, at least 20% is standard. I mean, you're a tax person. You agree with that, right? Looking back.
Did you
Yeah.
turn around and say that?
Yeah, I'm looking around my back.
Well, Taxman.
Taxes are for the people, not for you.
I'm sure
That's
those
all.
bandits have plenty of ill-gotten gains as well.
Exactly.
If loot is what you're here for, they'd have plenty of it.
I mean,
Oleg
I'd be
just
happy
rumps
for
again.
a room for the night and
Yes.
not have to sleep on the floor. It'd be a nice change.
Yes, we have traveled far, and a rest could certainly be appreciated. In the morning, we will discuss our plan of action, and if it is within our capabilities to do so, I cannot make any promises at this time, but if it is within our capability to do so, we will return your lost belongings. And in the meantime, I will still send that message back to the city because they should be aware of what is happening here.
Okay.
This Stag Lord guy, how long has he been bothering you anyway?
Oh, we used to have a quiet life here. Perhaps a few months or so. It used to be just idle, and it used to be he'd only send a couple of ne'er-do-wells, and we could scare them off ourselves, and then they realized the catapults didn't work, and, well, she rubs her left hand, and you guys can see, like, well, no, I guess, yeah, we are. It is September the 1st of Rova, as we begin this adventure. There is a obvious tan line on her left ring finger, where, like, clearly once a ring had sat. That damned Cressel. She threatened when Oleg tried to take up arms against them. She threatened to take our hands. Fortunately, she only took my ring. She wrings her hands, pun unintended, where the ring once sat.
We'll do what we can to get that back for you.
Who is this Kressel?
Oh, she's one of the bandits, one of the ones in charge, I think. Carries a couple of axes, little scrawny thing. You wouldn't think much given the crowd she runs with, but she's lightning fast with them.
What material is your ring?
Oh, just a little simple thing, little simple silver thing. She put it on herself. I imagine she's still wearing it.
Well, perhaps we'll return with her hand.
Oleg like visibly
That's-
smiles at this.
That's very grim.
I kind of shift my eyes up towards Ksenia and kind of just go back to eating my soup. Not really too bothered by it.
Well, they usually show up first thing in the morning, so if you'd like to get your plans together now, that may be for the best.
Oh, you're expecting them in the morning.
First thing tomorrow, yes. It's quite serendipitous that you've arrived.
So it almost seems as if the free room and board is not so free.
She kind of, like, she realizes she's been had a little. Well, you know, you look like you could take a couple of them. Not even break a sweat. Basically free.
Well, as I've stated before, my preference is to break backs, not break sweat.
She nods.
Oh.
And I will move you guys real quick to map of Oleg's trading post. If you are seeing places that are a little on the dark or spoopy or like cut off side, that's how the dynamic lighting in Roll20 works. So like from Ionia's perspective right now, there's a kind of like a opening cut of a door. That's because you can kind of see into a building, but you can't see all the way through. But like if I were to grab your token and move you through the door, you then see like inside that building itself and then out. The tokens are kind of in an arbitrary place at the moment, just to have put them on the board. All of the pack animals and Senia's horse can be controlled by the entire party.
And we are now chit-chatting?
Yes. Technically speaking, you guys are probably have moved out to where like these benches are. But this is for the purposes of you guys setting up any like kind of tactics you want to do.
Are we
So-
discussing this with Oleg and Svetlana?
Yes.
Or are we discussing it among us ourselves?
I guess actually what I'll say is you can do either. They don't seem to be like untrustworthy, but if you don't want them to hear, if you want to like do a quick like huddle off to the side or go somewhere else, you certainly could.
This bandit leader lady, what was her name again? Sorry.
I will put it in. It's in the Roll20 chat, so I don't have to open up
Cressel.
Discord again. And then
So this-
she seems to be, from how they're talking, some kind of like
So this
overseer
Cressel,
/ lieutenant. The big one is
right,
Stag.
Stag Lord, but Stag Lord won't be visiting us in the morning, I take it. Probably it's this Cressel
Yeah.
that we need to worry about.
Probably not, yeah.
So my thoughts on this is we can probably resolve this issue very swiftly and very cleanly. This Cressel seems to be a fairly fearsome fighter, but I imagine no match for someone of a trained ability and a skilled ability as myself.
I would. Go ahead. I would still like to make sure that we are prepared for villainy.
No, of course, but I'm saying we should. I would be willing to. Parlay with their leader before it comes to blows to see if she may be fearsome, but I doubt she is stupid.
Yeah, the usual par for the course, and most of you from like your backgrounds would know this, that what passes for bandits in the northern part of the River Kingdoms is oftentimes it ends up being fugitives from like Brevoy that come south to escape the law, and because like they don't always follow this far south given the amount of, in some cases, trolls have been sighted, true dragons. In other cases, tribes of humanoids that are sometimes like not the most friendly when outsiders come through. It's a very lawless and dangerous place that the law usually doesn't follow. But like that said, if you come out here, try and be stupid, you get killed pretty quickly.
And
Parley is fine, but I would still like to be prepared.
To be honest, they may not be stupid, but this Cressel, she has a rep to keep up. She's not going to just back down because some rich boy comes out and flips his foppish sword and tells her to back off. You're gonna need to show a little bit of force, I think.
That also probably tracks, given that most of the bandit organizations out here, from what you guys have heard, are they are ruled by the strongest. People are if Cressel is someone who is important, she probably got to that place of important over somebody's body.
Very true.
How many goons does she usually travel with?
Oh, is this conversation being held in front of the Levitans?
I think we're still in public.
Okay. Oh, the last time they were here, they came with a dozen. It was more than that before. I imagine that they think that, oh, well, we just can't defend ourselves. She shrugs. It's
You
hard to say.
mentioned you had catapults. What is wrong with them?
Oh, those have been here since before any of us. This used to be an old Talden fort.
Is there any chance to fix them?
Unless you all know how. Oleg's been wanting to take them for firewood. I think they look imposing enough. I'd rather they didn't, but in any case, I imagine it would take weeks of work.
I could take a look at them. I did a little bit of engineering in school.
Okay, sure. They are. You don't necessarily need to move your token right this second to get there, but you obviously actually you might not see them on the map. Well, bam. You does not. So I'll grab you and I'll move you over to where the catapult is, because the dynamic lighting cuts you off at a building. And yeah.
Is there?
Yes, Cal.
Is there any buildings across the street from this one, or across the road?
Yeah, there are. From where you're standing right now to your immediate cardinal directions are hard. I'm an adult. To your immediate west is a stables, which has, I didn't do this on purpose, but serendipitously enough, there are 5 stalls, all of which are unoccupied. So that's pretty good for y'all. Immediately behind you is a simple storeroom. And then outside of where Oleg and Svetlana are standing, that building in there is where some beds are. And then there are some more in this building here. And really quickly with Ionia's engineering check, yeah, it would take skilled engineers weeks of work to get these things back up and running. There are some pieces, some little mechanical bits, that are outright missing. The ropes are so frayed that even if you were to replace them and then fire this thing, you're liable to the ropes would rip and the entire catapult would pitch forward. To say nothing of the fact that there's not any, you could certainly go find a rock and load it in, but those aren't, they aren't true pieces of siege ammunition, and as such would fly at different angles and things.
All right.
It goes without saying, you probably can't count on them in the upcoming, when the bandits show up.
Yeah. I'll head back into the main room here with everybody else, and I'll say, well, the good news is I think that they could be fixed. The bad news is we certainly don't have the means or the times or the time to do it. Kato, why don't you, if you're sending a message back home, why don't you ask them to bring some supplies?
So the thing about sending a message back is, unless one of you 5 wants to take the trek back to Restov, right now there's no one else here. So it would come down to put it on a message board, and then if someone comes through the trading post from, say, a trapper would return and sell furs and then go to Restov. That would be the
right. How did they send the request for guards when they first started?
They didn't say, but you assume it would be something along those lines. Someone is on their way to Restov, and hey, by the way, if you wouldn't mind, tell the guard this.
It's very likely that the message never reached the city.
It is possible.
Or he said he would deliver. He said, sure, whatever, and then just didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
The trustworthy.
So are we all on board then with detaining this Cressel in the morning?
If possible, yes. I would
This-
like.
I think right now we have a bit of an advantage. They don't know we're coming. We know they're coming. Why not use that?
They do
If,
not also know that we are here. I agree with Kalira.
we should wait and trap. I saw the stables out there. If, yeah, she kind of looks at at uh at the woman with red hair and very little clothes and goes, "You don't look like you mind staying out in stables. How about you, me? How about you and me wait out there? When we see the trouble, we come up behind, break a few skulls. Maybe Fop over there will have a better time of making a what did you call it? Parlay."
I
Sounds-
nod at Kalira and make my way over to the stables, bringing my horse with me.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm going to really quick. I'd like to make it clear to everyone, and I'm particularly looking at the barbarians, that we're to attempt to capture Cressel alive. We're going to need her information if we're going to have any hope of, even if we don't do it, the authorities in the area will need to know what's going on here.
I
Agreed.
think currently we are the authorities in the area.
That is true, but
They called for guards, and when they get here, it would be of great help to them for them to find Cressel in manacles, which I just so happen to have.
Somehow I'm not
Well-
surprised.
Well,
Yeah, it goes without
well,
saying
yeah.
it would go.
I
Especially
agree with
if,
our Inquisitor.
if these guys happen to have a, and it's not 100% certain that these guys came from Brevoy and have a criminal background there, but it's not unlikely either, and it certainly it'd go over pretty well if you were to return fugitives and things, especially for the Church of Abadar. But continue.
Abadar knows how long.
Yeah.
The information would be extremely valuable, even just to us, let alone the authorities.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of who knows what out there, but the bandits probably know more.
So here's my thoughts. Names. Arcturus and I can meet with them in the morning as they approach with the Xenia and Cal. I'm just gonna call you Cal. Hiding in wait.
Okay.
Where do you see yourself?
Where
Bas-
do I-
Yep. Yeah. How would you like to approach this?
Come on, darling. Come to the stables with us. We can we'll braid each other's hair.
I mean, I really would have liked to sleep in the bed, but I guess if it's the stables, it's the stables.
That's your choice. I was just having fun.
Well, the three of us can meet the approaching bandits, give them the first opportunity to, relinquish their weapons and surrender. Should they refuse, then we spring the trap.
I would
I like that plan.
I would suggest that perhaps we should get an idea of how many there are before we have the plan to meet them in the open.
About a dozen.
Roughly a dozen. is
Well,
what we
that's
should
the
expect.
expectation. So
True. We may want
of us to go out there and
we may want someone to scout south tonight. We have a survivalist, right?
I am happy to go out and scout.
I mean, I would suggest we know what Cressel looks like, right? And these lawbreakers don't deserve the protection of our laws. I think
Well,
we should all attack with initiative, which is to say, we catch them by surprise rather than
Yeah, I was
giving
like,
them
yes,
the
we will
opportunity.
certainly use
I
initiative.
didn't mean to. Yeah, I didn't mean to use that word. Like I was trying to use it in character, but then it sounded like
That's
you know
what
what I
I
meant.
use. I don't think you know what it means.
Plus, I mean, them seeing me in my Abadarian finery and my taxmaster mask, it might clue them in that something's not right.
Yeah,
That they're not just dealing with these two old, helpless people anymore.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
very true. Same is probably true with Kato as well. Actually, really quickly, I don't know a whole heck of a lot about. Most of my players tend towards the nature-y or like battle side of deities. Is Abadar's Inquisitors wearing the gold mask and things? Is that something that we came up with, or is that out of Paizo's lore? I'm curious.
That actually is out of lore. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
okay.
use the gold mask because being a taxmaster kind of gets people to hate them, so they try and have some anonymity while they do their job.
Yeah, sure, that makes total sense. So then, yeah, Kato and Artoris both will tip things a little, but of course, like, wear things over your clear telling things you're wearing, and that goes away.
Yeah, actually, Kato, what I meant was, we have Svetlana and Oleg go out and meet them. Then we attack them from behind, and then you come out.
Are you suggesting we use them as bait?
Sure.
I will ask again, is this conversation being held within earshot?
Yeah, she's
We
looking
have
right.
not
She's looking
said that
right
we've
at
left the
Oleg as
room.
she says that.
So then
Like,
Oleg gets up with a big. It's a bit of an effort for him to get up. He's about 10 years past being in shape, right? He's one of them. Despite roughing it out here, and he over to behind a counter, and then he pulls up it's rickety. It has not been well cared for, but he pulls up a heavy crossbow. Svetlana gets real uncomfortable in that, like that. Oh, honey, you should. Like, she knows he will be real in danger if he tries to actually use this. But he picks up the crossbow. More than happy to help. Tries to like pull back the crossbow. Obviously has a winch, but he tries to pull back the string manually and obviously can't pull it off. And then sets down, uses the winch. Stops trying to show off in front of the people whose biceps are probably bigger than his legs.
With the wry grin, Kalira kind of turns back. See?
We don't need their help.
Yes, Oleg, they don't need our help. We don't know. We're good. And he gets real. He deflates once again, puts the crossbow back.
Should things go south for us, what do you two plan on doing if we're not able to stop them?
Same thing we've been doing, I suppose.
Do you think they will take kindly to the fact that you've...
She shrugs.
Remember what I said. The way this racket works is it's good until they get a backbone or they break yours. So if it looks like they have a backbone, it's no longer a good racket, and well, they'll cut their loss.
Svetlana nods, and Cal's train of thought does track. Calling these guys bandits is the technical term, but like the more proper term may very well be to call them bullies. Should someone stand up to them, they may just run off.
So all we have to do is make it not worth their while to come back. Yeah.
So it's the idea. First thing in the morning, probably when it's still a little dark, meet them on the road, deal with it there.
Why not?
I thought. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Why not use the forts to our advantage?
One piece. You said there's basically the remnants of an old Taldan fort here, right?
Yep, that's what you guys are presently standing in.
Yeah.
But like
Okay.
anywhere out from here is just like open. Well, I will swing y'all back to the map of the big map here. One of those hexes is about 12 miles. So you have pretty much like a wide open plains kind of area that eventually goes into hills and forest and swamp the farther south one goes.
So is there a gate around this outpost?
Yeah. You guys are... I wouldn't call it a gate so much as like a big swinging wooden door, but yeah, right there at the very south end.
And it's usually open, I imagine.
Yeah.
So,
but it certainly can be shut.
So if bandits saw it closed, they may be clued in on something at that point.
That would be a logical conclusion, yeah.
So I think in order for us not to lose the element of surprise,
well, if you want to surprise them, I see two ways to get it done. We either let them in, let them feel like they have everything is as normal, and once they are comfortable, we surprise them, or we meet them out in the field.
maybe even, though this would put our benefactors here maybe at a little more risk, but we could stay in hiding, allow the bandits to approach, do their business, act like nothing is different, pay whatever it is you were going to need to pay them, and then as they leave, we take the opportunity to jump them.
Why would we wait that long?
Well,
You're gonna let them come in here and accost these good people.
We will return whatever is taken, but this will basically put them at ease, as if, and they'll at this point, they will likely have their guards down since everything is going exactly as they expected it to.
I'm not going to stand by and watch them violate the law any further, sir.
Vilmaya, there is no law.
How dare you?
How dare you?
All right. Well, we either intercept them before they reach the fort, while they're here, or as they're leaving. I think those are our three options. So,
couldn't we? All right, Ionia, is that right?
Yeah.
And we're all learning.
Would
together.
you be able to set up some traps or anything? That you know how to do squirrely things like that?
I mean, I did also go to Boy Scouts. But,
you can
I can try. What do you want from me?
These aren't squirrels we're trying to, trap here.
I think maybe Xenia has more experience with traps.
I just feel like there are defensive fortifications we're failing to consider.
Well, like that, but I feel like in doing that, they would be ready for a fight.
Now, this map here, we have the gate here to the south. We have these raised platforms. These catapults are up on raised.
Yeah, you got it. They are. I'm gonna double.
Those are stairs.
The number. There's. Hang on one sec. I want to make sure I tell you guys the right height before arrows start flying. Yeah, they are. I'll grab Kato's token so Kato can see it, but like right there. And I think that is that one, and there is one over here. There are two ladders. The fortifications themselves are about 20 feet off the ground, and there's kind of a, I won't say rickety, but I also won't say well-maintained, kind of like a C+ platform that runs almost the entire way around, with the exception of like those squares are kind of awkwardly half cut. I'll say probably about 25 foot of gap in the platform where the gate is.
It's too bad I decided not to bring my crossbow.
I've got a crossbow.
He's got a crossbow.
I have a composite bow.
Oh yeah, we got some. Though we don't. My one fear is if we fortify this upper platform with archers and attack, and that we might just scare the entire group away. In which case, sure, we've prevented the robbery, but we're not going to take any prisoners that way.
Well, I mean, if we want to, we can always close the gate. How long would it take to close the gate?
There's no mechanism to do so. To do it would be to grab I don't know how to, I don't want to say a rail, but I'll say a rail that comes out of the door and manually pull or push it. There's a simple, a heavy wooden beam can go across to lock the thing, but to do so would probably, for you, Cal, perhaps a minute. To get it to all the way open or all the way closed, I'll say.
If we come from behind and cut off their exit, we're likely to catch one. We may not get this Crestle creature, but perhaps we get one of the underlings. As long as it's someone who knows where their hideout is, that's all I care about. I want to know where the stash is.
I want Crestle. I think our Vilmeyer would agree.
Yes, we'll get you.
Yes, your Vilmeyer would agree.
I was gonna say, never mind. I changed the.
You will all get your righteous vindication, but the important thing is to find out where their hideout is, and any of them will know where their hideout is, doesn't it?
To this, is it just flat? Leading up to the gate, I'm sorry.
The terrain, yeah, it's mostly pretty flat out here for miles around.
I thought you were talking about narratively for a second. Just
this game's pretty flat for miles around. It's real boring. They decided to make a CRPG out of it though, so that happened. And they're printing it in 2nd edition, but it's real boring.
So are we not doing the stable ambush thing again anymore? I feel like we've completely
I mean, it just seems
strategy.
to me like a waste where we have this fortress and our plan is let him in. But I guess it can work.
So you have two alternatives. If either we're gonna go surprise or we're gonna go full out attack.
Yeah.
Which do you think? Which do you want? Which camp are you in? That's what we need.
As long as we take Crestle alive, I think we should just attack them.
If we meet them in the open field, Crestle will have more opportunity to escape.
Exactly. So if you want Crestle, the best option is the surprise attack.
And then trap them so they can't. There's nowhere for them to run.
I would also like to win the day. That's the other thing I would like to do.
Yeah. The fortification
Vilmeyer. Vilmeyer, don't worry. I'm the equal of 12 bandits, if not more.
Kato is in fact the very best.
Wow. Okay. So.
All right. Here's what we'll do. We'll leave the fortress, give them the fortress, and then invade the fortress.
Yeah, there's some siege engines you guys can take, and they're great. You can knock down the gate by trying to fire one, and it will just throw the catapult at the gate.
Perfect. Then they'll be trapped inside. We got them right where we want.
Got them.
No, but
we starved them out.
You lay siege, the 5 of you.
What if we do this? What if we have... I'm a little concerned if things turn hostile, they're just going to redirect on the
Oleg.
That makes sense.
Terrible. My thought is rather than let them anywhere near them, we keep them in hiding. We stay where they would typically meet, probably in this room. And, they come in expecting this, no offense, weak elderly couple, and instead they get, us cool guys. Then we surround them, block the exits.
Have our barbarians, I'm sorry, I'm going to use class names here for a second, come in behind, maybe?
All right, how about...
So we just hide out in a room off to the side here?
There are certainly several
I mean,
like
yeah, there's-
buildings and things. You
should
can
we
hide.
have
plenty of places.
Should we have Oleg and his wife, I assume, like leave the premises for like the night or
If
something?
there was a place for them to go, that's what
Yeah.
I would prefer, but I don't know.
The closest
Yeah,
place
Yeah, I
for
mean,
them to
I
go
prefer
is
that they're
Rostov, and
nowhere
Rostov,
around.
Rostov
but
I will-
I
is
don't know
really
where
far
to
will-
from
go.
here.
I will ask them if they have like anywhere like that they would feel safe, like to hide while this blows over.
Well, we could hide in the stables, I suppose.
Hey,
Nothing else.
thanks
They're
for letting
the-
us stay at your home. Could you leave it?
No, I mean like maybe they have like, I don't know, some cubby hole that they could, climb. Wherever they would feel the safest and securest to sort of hide out so that they're not in any immediate danger.
So the
Do
closest
they
thing,
have a cellar?
the closest thing, we
Yeah,
have to a
cellar,
or a
attic,
cubby hole.
something like anything that like would.
The
Kinda-
old fortress attic.
The fortress attic. The
Every
closest thing we
fortress.
have right now to a cellar or a cubby hole is back here in the
Why-
top left
it's not a bad
corner,
idea, Esker. I
where
don't know
you
why
see
you're shitting
those
on me.
like
What if we
God,
What if we go up to the top of the fortress, and as they arrive, we have the gates shut, and we taunt them?
So I realize now
Perhaps they'll
I've
become
been
so cross
muted
they'll make a
for a
mistake.
couple of seconds. And I typed in a where to cut out a thing, and I hit the button to mute on Discord. To catch up with what everybody's saying, in the very top left corner, there are a couple of, I'll call them compost heaps that have those nets over them that they could hide. They could also hide basically in any of these buildings. So could you guys. That said, I don't know what check. You don't have to make a check. There are lots of. Nobody really dumped their int in this party. And one of us is very smart. If the bandits show up and they aren't met by the Levitans, that may also cause them to, it could be a red flag for them. So it sort of comes down to how quickly you want them to be able to sniff you guys out.
Well, I mean, my thought is they walk into the room, look around the room, realize the people aren't here, and then we jump out and attack. We get a surprise round. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, they might suspect that something's up, but, we get the jump on them.
Yeah, they could. This couple could be in another room somewhere, like doing, I don't know.
Okay.
My concern is that if they're around, they're easy targets. They're going to get taken hostage. We're going to end up with, a knife to one of their throats and, y'all stand down, or a, slit her neck or something.
Yeah.
Okay. That definitely makes sense. And there are multiple buildings from multiple angles. Even they all require stealth checks, certainly. Because mechanically speaking, someone could hide and their armor makes noise and you're found out. But you could also lay flat up on the platforms and people might not see you again. Stables under this wagon here.
I feel an overwhelming urge to cast Detect Magic.
Okay. Is anyone carrying anything magical right now? You might get I'm gonna say the auras are faint coming from Ionia's stuff, but some faint magically things which you in character probably already know about.
I just have a couple potions.
The potions would ping.
Yeah, I have.
I have two.
But the fort itself doesn't ping, the Levitans don't ping.
So this all isn't an elaborate magical deception, is what you're telling me.
Yes, you have successfully disbelieved the illusion. You're all dead. Thank you for your support on Patreon. Ha ha ha. Yeah. Nothing there.
All right, so these are actual two old couples and not
Yeah, an elderly couple and the
Demons.
Kressel and Staglord, yeah.
Just fucking around.
This is Staglord.
These are my kind of villains.
in plain sight the whole time.
Hateful Eight situation.
All right, so I agree with that plan of attack. Even if it does it may tip them off slightly. I think the downside of that is outweighed by keeping them safe. So I think they should be out of sight, out of harm's way. We will attempt to also remain out of sight until the bandits enter the room, at which point the barbarians come in through the back or through the gate behind them, maybe they do hide out in the stables then and just watch the approach.
So to be super clear, I know the dynamic lighting is on right now, but the stables are immediately to the west of where you are standing. The stables are not behind anyone. They will be coming into the fort directly.
Which ways do the fort doors open and in or out?
Based on what I'm seeing,
looks like in.
Yeah, they would open in. Which doesn't seem to be the best way for the hinges to turn in a fortified setting.
Yeah.
What can I say? The Talons didn't really know what they're doing. And
Hey,
they
now.
couldn't hold it.
Well, the thing is, if they open outward, you can't barricade it.
Yeah.
Okay, fine, cool.
Yes, Taldan are smart when it comes to
Tommy
battle
are
strategy.
Dumb. Taldor am good.
So why don't I and Kalira situate ourselves on the parapets above the gates, and when the bandits come in, we close the gates on them to trap them in.
Again, that will take a long time. The gates are heavy. You'd have to stop and push them, and they would have more than enough time to see what you are doing and respond.
And skewer you while you're pushing the door.
Yeah.
I don't want our animals to get hurt either. We just.
So then, I guess that's an important question.
Oh yeah, they're kind of just sitting there in front of the gate.
I'd imagine they would be in the stables.
But I should ask: do we expect the guard dogs to participate?
The guard dog's job at this point in time is to protect the 3 other animals.
Okay, cool. So they would just be in the stables then?
Yeah, I don't plan on using them in combat at this point in time. Like, maybe if things get real dire, we might call them out, but their job is to protect the animals, and I'd rather not risk losing them.
Sure.
When we're out here where we can't replace them.
Yeah, so then if it please the court, I'm going to move there are, and I didn't do this way, but it came out real good for you guys. There are 5 stables. There are 5 pets. All of the pets are in the stables.
Oh.
Yahtzee.
My entire.
I'm sorry?
Endemic to the horse. I think my sight is set to the horse's sight.
Yeah, mine as well.
Yeah, everybody
everybody
has line of sight from all of the mounts, but you guys have line of sights from your characters.
No, I don't.
I don't.
I'm in the blackness now. My own token is in the blackness.
Pip, hold on. I will fix. Oh my gosh, yeah, you are correctly right. Alrighty, controlled by. I'll just hold on. Here we go. The internet connection at the Airbnb I'm at presently is not the best, and I may have just overloaded it. Can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
Okay. It's because my Roll20 has hung. Okay, there we go. I will. Here is a horse. I will fix it in a second, but that horse actually is in the stables. The horse is the torch. We've done it. Well done, team. And you guys are free to continue planning.
Okay.
I mean, if the stables is in the, I was thinking that I thought we can still do the stable thing because they'll come in to an area where we are currently, and then just bust out the stables.
I mean, I think our best bet, I suppose, would be to just count on the fact that pound for pound, our fighters are better than theirs. And so if we just funnel them in a way that we're not facing 12 on 3.
We don't want to get surrounded, so we want
we want to have the advantageous. So that's is there am I the only one who can't move there?
What?
No, we can't.
Oh, we can't move our tokens.
Not yet.
All right.
I can move mine.
I don't know why that is. Everybody got put in from the character sheet. I see Iona can move. I
can move the horse.
Good. Everyone is playing that horse. This game is
horse
simulator.
I can move the horse as well.
And also, like I said,
Tara's horse, though.
My internet connection.
I'm gonna move this horse back here. All right. So what I was thinking is, we could maybe stay out here and then come around this way and cut them off like that. Does everyone follow me on that?
Are these the only set of doors, or are there doors back yonder too?
The only way in or out of the fort is the one gate, short of climbing over.
Okay.
Or like flight and magic and things. This is Pathfinder.
So-
but
So that makes like around here seem like maybe not the best hiding spots because they're gonna walk in and just like bam, there we are. And then it's a long way to run in if we go around the corners. But maybe like I don't know, one or two of us could be in this room, maybe like down this hall or something. I don't know. Is that like their bedroom over here or something?
yeah.
Would they give us access to surprise party out of there?
Yeah, you guys can basically sit wherever it is you want to.
It'd be really funny if they wouldn't. Though.
Like,
Oh,
no.
you can't use our
I just
bedroom.
feel like you ask before you go into somebody's bedroom, okay?
Yeah, you certainly ask, but like this is a situation where they are basically relying on you guys to survive. So
Okay.
whatever you think is best.
But where are they going to hide out now? See, that's where I was thinking they would hide out in their bedroom while
Yeah,
we
they
deal
will.
with the ruffians out here.
Yeah, I'll put them-
Maybe they hide like back around this corner, like way out of the way.
Or in the stables with the guard dogs. So if we
That's
fail,
not
the
a bad
dogs,
idea. They've
will
got a little bit of
maybe
backup
keep them
defense.
safe. If there's like
They
one,
are
we
very
all die
fluffy, so
yeah.
you know that's nice.
Okay.
All right,
sure. I'll
we're
put them
gonna-
in the
we're-
stables with the doggos.
yeah, we're gonna stick the residents in the stables with the animals because we're nice like that.
That's just the kind of people we are.
I
But
mean,
with the
this-
guard dogs specifically, yeah.
the last time I GM'd a game at level 1, it wasn't the samurai who was doing all the kills. It was the token I'm using for the horse. The samurai's horse was the one that was getting it all in. So probably the safest place in the world. Right behind those 1d4 hooves.
All right, and then we are we all gonna come out of the one room together?
No, I don't like that.
Yeah, I think
I
We
think
should-
maybe
we should have some form of. I think some of us should come out to surprise them from the north, and some should
I
come in
think we
through the
should
gate
kind
behind
of
them.
all different directions. Yeah, like we want to enclose them.
Shock and awe.
Thank you, Mr. Bush.
Yeah, no problem.
That means someone will have to camp outside of the fort tonight.
Which puts them in, short of being like behind the fort, puts you pretty much in clear line of sight to anybody approaching.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Wait, why does that mean somebody has to be outside the fort?
I think
don't
he's
know when
thinking he wants to run someone through the gates behind them. Am I following?
You'd have to be out here.
Well, I mean, like the thing is, they come in the gate. Maybe we have like one person over in this corner. We've got one person. Keep getting stuck on walls. Yeah, one person over in this corner. Then they can run in and head them off here. And then maybe
Yeah.
one person is in this room, another person in this room, and then a fifth.
Looking at
maybe-
this map,
I
I realized
probably
that
not the stables because I don't think we want to draw attention there.
looking at this map, I just realized like if we were hidden here, we could both go this way, or towards the gate. So like hiding here, I think Cal would want to hide here. That way she could move either inside or head them off on the way out. You got both options that way.
So why don't we put Cal there? Maybe Ksenia like up in this room.
Okay.
Yeah, like you three in those places. I can come back here, and Artoris can lay in the cart.
That's a terrible idea.
Don't put him in the cart. And he can just
Just lay down.
He's the
He could-
shiniest. He would
His
stand
hat,
out
his
the
hat
most.
sticking out.
You pull the giant tall hat down over the brilliant golden mask.
or maybe we use him as bait.
No, see, I should be the one furthest away because I'm
If
going to
any
be
of us,
buffing and giving haste to people. So I mean, a little metagaming here, but you know what I mean.
um,
I don't want to be sitting up front where I'm.
The
talking
caster is a
about?
little worried about where
Yeah.
they're being put.
I mean, if anybody should be bait, maybe I could be out here just kind of on my own. I'll be the bait. I look the least threatening, probably, and
It's
the least
ironic.
official.
It's ironic given how powerful the caster will become over time. But yeah, right now the first level occultist probably just looks like a
I just look like a girl.
Exactly. Yeah. Whereas you've got people with muscles on their muscles on their muscles, someone in finery from Brevoy, and the taxman.
She's basic.
So
Until the spells start getting slung, and then you're far from. But like, certainly the least assuming.
Okay. So
Who will
that's
be
our
the
bait, then.
furthest from the action? Because that's who I should be potentially paired with.
Me.
Well, we're gonna have
Initially.
Cal over here, and then either Kato or Ksenia in this room. Oh wait, we have 3 rooms. So one each of you in each of those rooms. Cal around the corner, and me like hanging on this table taunting them.
I still can't move my token, so I'm gonna be
Right.
this dog for a minute.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'll fix it. Like I said, the internet connection where I'm at right now is kind of not the best. And so when I try to set it up while Discord is running and everything is going, it just hangs the browser. So what we'll do is when we get the plan done, I'll jump out of Discord for like 2 seconds, and then I'll get everybody reset.
That's weird. I can't actually move the dog out of the room.
Then you will be donkey.
I can move the donkey.
All right.
Here you go.
The dogs
Like
can't
how
move out of the
animals are
room
just all
because
shifting around.
yeah, because right now they are. I didn't leave an open and closed
Gotcha.
door in the stable, so they're hitting a wall.
Gotcha. So the donkey that you see right now up north, I'll be in here.
Gotcha.
Thank you. I'll put there. Everyone can use the donkey to show GM where to put their character.
So I'll put the horse away then. I see that.
Then why don't we have Ksenia in this room so that we have our like tough guys all kind of charging from all different directions,
Okay. Makes
and
sense.
and then we'll have
Vilmeyer in the
Taurus and-
probably top right.
and no in this room because this one is going to be Ksenia. This one is
And-
going to be you.
Got it. Okay. That makes sense to me. So
I
then
mean,
my
I'd
next
rather
question.
be in the top right.
My next question I have is I'll put you on top right then. Do you guys want the doors to be open or shut in those buildings? It will in combat. It's a standard action to open a door.
I would say have them like not shut in the hinge,
Ajar.
but ajar, kind of like this one is presenting,
Okay. So
so
it
that
will,
you can easily push it open.
but it will still be a standard action.
Then open.
Okay. Got it.
Open and y'all can hide around the corners.
Yeah.
Do they all open outward? Because that might look a little suspicious.
I'm gonna say yes for simplicity's sake.
I mean, I think we might be overestimating what these, brigands find "quote unquote" suspicious. Unless it's like people just don't leave doors open in their houses.
Fortress.
Yeah, like it's not a fortress. Like it's a fortress being used as a, it's a rundown fortress being used as a residence. Like I'm sure there are just doors open that don't mean anything.
Right.
Just chickens
And
running
then I
around outside.
probably want to hang out like on this side, so I'm at least close to the people who can maybe protect me.
Okay. Makes sense. So then I will ask is, I know like I'll fix the tokens in just a second, but from where you see your tokens is everybody where they want to be.
I'd like
I can't
to be.
I can't even see my token
Hold on.
anymore.
I like to be.
Give me this donkey.
I like.
Kato is there.
I like to be over here.
Arcturus is here. Ksenia is
Here's another idea. Kato, I've got an extra pair of clothes we could put you in to make you look less the way that you do. You're better at lying. You could come out here and do basically what I was saying I would do and
Lying.
try to
Hold
bluff them.
I that word.
Are-
I mean,
Are
Where
you
was
not-
my token? I'm sorry.
You're good at deceit. I don't know.
Top
What
Thank
right.
I am an honest, down the earth.
I know how many times you snuck out of your house to come hang out with me without your father knowing.
Yeah, all right, fair enough.
As he looks at his character sheet, realizes it's
GM,
all
I'd
over
actually
20.
like to be like right here, so
Got it.
I have like equidistance from either side.
Sure.
Like, yeah.
Got you. Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay. So then I hear we are also thinking about doing Kato does the bluff rag.
Mm,
You kind of, they come in and you're like, oh, I don't know, there was no one here when I got here.
Must be my fort.
And then
now.
we all pop
Yeah.
out.
I mean,
Maybe I won't be,
won't they
I don't
then-
know.
what's your?
Won't they then try and rob him?
Yeah, that's what
Why
I'm
would they
worried
be like,
about.
oh, well, the old couple's
if I-
down here. I guess we'll leave.
Like if I have my sword on me, clearly they're going like my sword is like
Should
I have a
I just
masterwork.
maybe also be hiding?
It's not the worst thought.
Yeah, probably. I would say we just hide. My weapon would give me away. My weapon is like worth more than the rest of my kit combined.
Oh,
300
true.
GP sword. Yeah.
Are you serious? What?
Hashtag
So what-
rich parents trait.
Out in here with them.
Okay, sure. Got you.
Well, we're here with hide armor for 15 gold. This dude has $300 sword.
I have a 320 gold sword.
Oh, excuse me. So we all just kill Kato. We take his sword. We call it a day. Sell that.
I'm really thinking about it.
Okay, so then are the 5 of you satisfied with where we are hiding and things?
I think so.
Can you
Who's
just
the
nudge me
donkey?
out of sight?
Yeah, sure.
I would like kind of be like right here where the donkey is.
Okay.
Just kind of around the corner.
Got it. And then
Yeah.
there are a couple of other rooms where Aenea and Artorias are. I will. I'll open the gates into these rooms here.
Okay, thank you.
If there's
Yeah,
one
'cause
you'd
I
like
also
to.
want to kind of be around the corner.
Makes sense. I will put R.
Maybe this is a really big oversight. Why do we assume the bandits will come check the buildings instead of the stables when they realize there's actually things? Because they're going to hear our animals and be like, wait a minute.
Well,
something's-
if they approach the stables, then we have them really truly trapped, and
It's pretty easy
then-
for the barbarians to then get them from behind if they're trying to.
yeah,
do
and
that.
block the
Alright.
exit out. And
Do
Yeah.
we?
You might not be
Now
able
we
to
have a
shut the
choke
door, but you might be able to put 2 big beefy characters where the door is and make a new door.
We
out
got a
of
choke
people.
point then.
Yeah.
So, if all of us are hiding, do we have a signal to make all of us come out?
good call.
Good
Didn't
call,
think of
yeah.
because if
Oh,
we
I
just
was- I
we
was
all stay
thinking-
hiding and then they just
We just keep hiding.
We all just wait
I was,
for
I
everybody
was
else.
thinking the signal was when
The signal is
uh,
when Cal throws a javelin and someone says "owie" when the javelin goes through them. Then the
I was
ambush
thinking
is up.
Ksenia would like do
Oh,
a,
like-
do a
oh, like-
scream of some sort.
I was thinking I'd yell glory to Abadar or something like that.
I guess whoever wins initiative can make the signal however they
That
they
tracks.
deem fit.
Okay.
I would
I
think
would
we would
say-
all be in an earshot enough to know when shit's about to go down, right?
Well,
the,
here's
the
here's
DC
the
to
problem
hear the
with
sounds of combat is 0 on a perception check. So yeah, you'll know.
here's the problem with whoever wins initiative though is that the idea is that we want to wait for them all to be like in this central room so that
Yeah,
we
but-
can
And
ambush them.
and I would
Mm,
and I would hope that people would hold their actions and things like if one of us wants to oopsie.
yeah, well,
that'll
my
happen.
thought is how many of us can actually see in there because I can't.
Yeah, from in that room you can't see the courtyard. Right now, from where everyone is sitting, Kato can kind of see out. Cinia, do you want the door to that building open? It's presently open right now. We wanted them to be kind of cracked. Yes, excuse me. Cinia can
Why-
see-ish. Cal can see-ish. Everyone can probably at least hear, though. You imagine these guys are going to come here and start like making a
I
loud
would think
ruckus.
I would think Cal would also be looking around the corner on the gate side to wait and see if when you see the last person marching on in, it's time
So
to
maybe-
do it.
Maybe Cal should call the signal.
What if I'm bait? My rancier has reach.
Could also work. I guess real quick, what I want to ask is the Black Stags. How, on a scale of 1 to 10, how known was your tribe?
We were a minor tribe. We preferred to mostly hunt in our hunting grounds, and we would occasionally visit Rostov for trade. But we were fairly minor,
So you would
which
say
is why
like
it was very
1 or
easy
2 or
for
3?
like a 3.
Like a 3. Okay. So then Senya won't tip anybody in terms of like, it's a person from that. Ooh. But like big Kelid woman will be like,
Big Celtic. Yeah.
they will probably assume that like a fight might be had, but they would have the numbers. Senya being just one person, right?
Mhm.
I mean, it works for me.
All right. If you want to be bait, just get ready to have a new character sheet on hand.
I do like to tell my players, do not roll for initiative unless you're ready to re-roll the character. But a lot of my patrons will watch this and they'll get real mad at me because I have a lot of players here that are brand new to Pathfinder. So I won't be as mean as I am to some of my other friends who I hope will still support us on Patreon. But different story. Okay, so Senio wants to be the bait. Is there any other questions, comments, concerns?
So, what that means? Because like, but if anyone is anyone in the room with me anymore?
No, you are. Well, there's a bunch of. I keep trying to fix it, but every time I try to go change it, like I said, the browser hangs because I'm not at home and I'm not running into my very nice Google Fiber. I'm running into what's at St. Louis. So right now you have that room and come here, donkey. You are needed once again. Well, bam. That whole building is yours right now.
Holy shit!
Because I was
got
considering
so much space.
I was considering maybe moving like outside so I have line of sight of Cal.
Okay, sure. So we could put you. You could be on the ground next to them, or perhaps like I said, up on the. I guess I should call them battlements, but they're not really battlements. Like up there. If you're laying
I'd want to
down-
be like to the east, like of the building I was in, like up north in that corner.
Okay, sure, we can do that.
I just want to let you know you're sleeping out there.
You sleep with the catapults, Taxman.
Oh no, not upstairs, down.
Okay, sure, got it. So about like here, say.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, that should be enough buildings to give you like stealth is a roll that you can make, but if there is a clear line of sight between one thing and another thing, short of you having like hide in plain sight, they'll see you.
How far away is Cal from me now? I'm just getting an idea of what I can do.
Okay,
I
tried to use my ruler, but I realized Kingmaker's kind of showing its age. I couldn't get any digital assets for this. I had to just rip this from the PDF, so the scale is not as perfect as it could be. So we're going to play everyone's favorite game today. Count the squares. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
5 foot squares?
20,
Okay.
25, 30, yeah. 65 feet.
Okay.
And diagonals is every 2 squares is actually 15.
It's 10 foot of movement, yeah.
Boy,
So
you better get your Pythagorean theorem ready.
break out your protractors. It's Pathfinder time. But yeah, Kato is correct. To move, the first diagonal is 5 feet, the second diagonal is 10 feet. So to move diagonal twice would cost you 15 feet of movement.
Then I would like to be closer to the corner toward Cal.
Okay.
Corner of the building.
About here.
Tommy's gonna hate us because we're like, move my token here.
I
please."
know
It's totally it's on me. I don't know what happened, but there's always the like what I should have done before we started was the can everyone move their token? I assume what happened is something between like the character sheets got pooped, and that's why everyone who's not Ionia can't move themselves. But we'll fix it before people start trying to murder you. In any case, so we have the taxman there. One of our barbarians is bait, the other barbarian is behind this wall, and Ionia is in this room, Kato is in this room. Do we all find this to be acceptable?
Looks good to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and there's beds in my room.
Yeah.
Nice.
Bonus.
I'm gonna
Sleep
assume
here.
everyone sleeps in a bed unless somebody wants to like not. I guess I don't know.
Maybe if you were a bard, I'd believe in that strategy.
All right.
Does everyone have control of their tokens now?
Ooh, let's check. I do.
Okay,
Yes.
go. Sorry about that. I have no idea what the heck happened, and it won't happen again because I'll be in a very much faster internet connection than what that
Y'all
poor
are no
little
longer
Wi-Fi dongle.
vegetables.
They
Meal
did it.
can go away.
And no one played Divine Leshy today. And I am disappointed. I like that race. I think they're super adorable. But, any case, if everyone is set where they want to go, if you want to just set your tokens back up in that spot, the food is good. The Oleg gives you, like, complimentary feed for all of the animals, and they are stabled and safe and things. And the morning comes, and I see the taxman is standing on a bench.
I was enjoying the food. Sorry.
So-
fair enough. Okay.
Oh,
so
were we eating
I'm-
first?
no, we don't necessarily have to, like, if you guys want to role play it out, we can.
So, well, a few things that I'll be doing like between now and the fight is I'll be using like my whetstone to sharpen my blade.
Because that does still have that mechanical buff for low level play. Fair enough. Well done.
For one attack, I get one extra damage.
That's real good when you don't. Well, you do. We use lots of crazy elephant in the room and my own homebrew. So dex to damage right off for the guy who usually has to wait like 4 levels to get it. Anyway, before we go to next event, if anyone else wants to do anything, talk to the Levitans, learn anything about the setting, now would be the time.
I'm just right, because I figured since we were traveling all this time, I'll probably take the time to write in my journal.
Okay.
A few passages about what we've done so.
Yeah, I'll do that at the end of each day as well.
You guys can also add your hit points to your token if you click on him and hit the little. It's not really a cog; it's like a sunburst.
Yep, that you can.
Yeah.
Some people like to do that. Some people, as long as you are accurate in what your hit points are, I don't super care how you track them. Oftentimes, I'll just open like a notepad or get some like scratch paper because I'm always expecting to get healed a bunch and my hit points to ride the wave forever. In any case, now I will swing it on forward and I will put Mr. Donkey back in the stable. The morning comes. Dawn of the second day. I will 1d4. Boom. Okay. The weather is pretty clear this morning. It looks like it will remain clear all day. It started to get a little cold-ish. You guys are pretty far north, so winter comes fast, but it's not like break out the heavy coats cold, just like a pumpkin spice lattes are all the rage in Restov right now. I'll say that. And now I want to go get more coffee. Early on in the morning, with the gates open, Senia sees this. At the moment, everybody else only hears it. But 4 horses approach the camp. Just Senia, if you can make a perception check.
We lost you.
I'm sorry. Am I here?
We heard just and then perception
dropped.
check.
Just all of you died. Oopsie daisies. Yeah. Senia perception check. The bandits are actually led by a demon lord. The demon lord of bandits.
You hate to see it.
So metal.
But yeah,
So
it's a bunch of bards. They're wearing strange face makeup. Okay. So there are very clearly
Natural 20. Nice.
4 horses, but 5 riders total, as one of them has a smaller compatriot up front of them. Appears to be, I'll move one of them. Get over here, you. It's time to fight and not just sit on the GM layer. Leading up front, very clearly the blue scales of an Uruxi who, like, the tail is awkward. They're almost like having to lean forward to fit in a saddle made for a humanoid sans tail, as well as the imposing figure of an orc. A human man with a scar on his face, with, as he gets closer, you can see there's a goblin riding in front of him, holding on the pommel, kind of like bouncing in anticipation, and there's a human man behind all of them with a hood up over his face. The 5 of them approach. They dismount their horses outside, and they don't take the time to hitch them to anything. They just hop off them. They make their way in. They do not see the Levitans. They do see Senya. At this point, before anything else goes on, the first person I need a stealth check from is Cal.
Okay.
I personally am just gonna roll 5 d20s. They add more than this. I'm just putting 5 dice down. Okay. So when they get to this point, I'm gonna say it's the goblin who beats the stealth check on the dice, and they come in, and the man is carrying a bow, and my god, I can't think of his name. It's not for an extra hero point, but Walking Dead, bat with nails. I cannot, for the life of me, my favorite like bandit archetype. I can't think of his name, but he Negans, there it is, like running his bow along the side of the wall. Just, oh, leg, time to pay up. Look, boss, look over there. Let's an ambush. And the ambush is had no one has a surprise round. If everyone could roll for initiative. So then, top of the initiative, I guess I'll just close this because I have it somewhere else. Pip on this internet connection here. Top of the initiative is Cal.
Okay, Cal's gonna yell out, "Come get me, you cow stooping bastard!" Oh, I can't cuss. Okay, I'm running around the corner.
Smooth.
Well done. Proud of you.
And I can. Is holding an action thing?
Yes, you can. I'm not sure what I imagine your speed is 20 and hide. What you can do is you can ready an action to, like, if they come to here, I will do this, or if then statement, more or less.
Right. So yeah, I'm going to hold my power attack, my great sword. So I'm gonna just pull out my great sword once I get around the corner, and just as soon as I see the first person, I'm gonna try to take.
Okay. So
That's
when
my
someone comes in your threat range, you will attack them.
Yes.
Got it. So then next is me. 5, 10. Well, he can charge. He has a charge line. He can end up there. Since a level 1 barbarian, so far as I know, is still flat-footed, this orc is able to run through the threat range of the Rancer, and he draws a short sword. And does anybody speak Orcish?
I do.
Something, oh, got you! And off he comes. And the first attack roll of the game is an important one. Are we dead forever? We're about to find out. Adding, not that much. So this resolves against Senya's flat-footed AC. Boom. And 9. So he ends up he steps in something he wish he shouldn't have, and he leans forward a little bit, and the sword goes super wild off to the side. And then I got
Flat-footed AC is 13.
Yeah, right. That's the scary one for you. And then I got 2 more are going to, since Senya is the obvious target, they don't really see anyone else yet. Well, 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. No flank yet, but gonna try the same thing, and I have a 12 to hit Senya and a 17.
So you dodge 2 out of still 1 hit. Not as bad as it could. Not as bad as it could have been.
Yeah, for
Still
sure.
alive.
Still there. We're still good. That 1d12 plus con. For a grand total of 4 points of damage, as the Uruxi mechanically has a short sword. I'm going to say he reaches out and tries to claw you, and you are able to, like, lean away from it. And then the other guy has a short sword that gets you in the ribs. They smile wickedly. And next up is Ionia.
What a great idea Bait was.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's see. Come around here, see what's going on. So I can currently see 3 of them.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Shield, I believe. That is a level 1 spell, so that's one of my spell slots. And I'm gonna cast it on myself.
Sure.
I would have done that probably before I ran out.
Okay, so then a standard action to cast and a move action to step out then. Okay. Is that all from you?
Earth-shattering plays.
I assume.
I probably could have done that preemptively, but we didn't know when exactly they were going to be here, so whatever.
Yeah, it is what it is. Okay, so then Kato's next.
Kato is next. Damn, I'm just out of range of that dude. So I will also come running out the door.
Okay.
Well, not running, but we'll move out.
Seems skittish.
I was counting squares.
Creeps out the room. He's like, oh no, it's 3 of them.
And
I mean, that was pretty much my reaction.
And since I can't reach anyone with my sword from here, can I attempt an intimidate on the dude in front of me to demoralize?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. All right, intimidate.
DC is 10 plus half his hit dice plus his wisdom mod. I know what that number is off the top of my head. Sure. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, he is very spooked. If you want to flavor it, you may. The check is wildly successful.
Give me some flavor.
Give us some flavor.
He's
Take us
afraid
down
of
to
color
Flavor
blue.
Town.
Barbecue.
Oh, good. I'm from Kansas City, so yes, please. Thank you.
Yeah, just you uncultured swine. I don't know.
And he turns. Whoa! What was that? He didn't even say anything, and I'm already scared. And yeah, you got him shaking. I'll give him. What's a good for?
Oh shoot! Can I do a? Sorry, I was gonna say I can draw my sword as part of my move action.
Yes, your BAB is 1 or greater.
Yeah. So I drew my sword as part of my move action, and then I brandished it and said something very intimidating to Mr.
And I've put a wrench
Bandit,
on him
dude.
to indicate he is
Mr.
shaken.
Wrench.
You have thrown a wrench into his plans. And then next up is 2 of mine, huh? Yeah. Okie dokie.
Whoop.
Yes?
I'm scared.
Oh, okay. I thought someone was like, nope, I'm up. What are you doing? Nope. Oh, we be goblins. You be a little hard for me to get to, but I'm going to try. 5, 10, 50. This goblin is going to go 5. I also am measuring 10, 15. Yeah, that works. It comes scurrying up, singing in Goblin, one of its Goblin songs that I didn't write. So there we are. It has a bow out, and it's going to take a shot at Dell. Got to get all those taunts. Taunts are super important. +2, bam! 10, the shot misses wildly. The more important one is going to step here. I want to make sure I have line of sight over the cart. And really quickly also, when you're typing, if you wouldn't mind muting your microphone as it comes over. +1, thank you. And yep, we got line of sight. So big man comes up and he looks over at yeah, I'm gonna say Dell recognizes the man. His name is Haps Biden. He ran. Hold on, I have more on him. And also, really quickly, I say if we can keep the banter to Discord, please. It's a little distracting for me.
Oh, sorry.
It's all good. I look over and I see it and I'm reading it and I'm laughing at it while I'm also trying to murder you horribly. He's not really much of anything. Local petty thefts occasionally, drunken brawls, but he used to live in Rostov, and when all of the little things added up over time, it came to a point where he was either going to jail for, in his mind, a long time, or flee out here and go to banditry, and so he has. And he looks over and says, I didn't expect to see some noble here. Where's Oleg? Tell us where Oleg is, and all of you will walk away alive.
Oleg is no longer your concern.
Oh, is he now? All right. And he smiles wickedly, draws his bow, and does a pew-pew. His bow is actually a laser gun. He's from the Iron Gods AP, and he misses real bad.
Plot twist.
Plot twist, the Technic League, haha, just like they are in the CRPG for no reason. Okay, that is all it means.
Good shooting, Tex.
Good shooting, Tex. All right, Senny is up.
I go into a trance.
Okay, sure. So that is, I believe for you, that's a free action.
Yes. So I gain a +2 morale bonus on reflex and will saving throws, and a +4 morale bonus to Constitution.
And your HP shoots up real high, yeah. Okay. Anything else from you?
And I swing my rapier at the demoralized guy.
Okay, so from where he is standing right now, he is inside your reach with a reach weapon, so you can attack with it, but it's at a -4 penalty. Whereas if you were to step into this square, like step up on that bench, you could then swing at him for free.
Okay. Okay, so 5-foot step back onto the bench then.
Okay.
And then I can swing my weapon.
Yes, you can. Okay. You go a swinging in at what I assume is, the rancier hits him, but the like padded leather that he's wearing is enough to deflect it. And unless there's anything else from you, I believe it's on the tax man.
I think you've cut out again.
No.
Yeah, you're coming in and out, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Said it didn't hit.
Didn't hit. And yeah, sorry. The wonders of being in a big call when you're not on your fancy internet. Next up is Artoris.
Is Cal within 30 feet of me, you think? Like if the range on a spell is 30,
yeah,
is that
Cal is.
Oh yeah, easy.
It's
want haste for a round, buddy?
Sure. In character, no.
Yeah.
In character, he'd rather not have the buff.
All right, I'm going to. Oh wow! I just zoomed out by accident. That's amazing. Should have done that a long time ago.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to use Inquisitor's Direction.
Okay.
It's this little guy right here.
Start of your turn, you can choose to enter a travel. Okay, that's really, really good. Sure.
I'm giving that to my boy, or my girl, Cal. I'm trusting her to get us out of this bind.
And Cal immediately.
Yeah, we're not off to a great start.
Well, if that forgoes all of your actions, so yeah, Cal's up.
Okay, so I have 80 feet of movement.
You have with haste, you would have, I believe, a 50. Is your one move speed? Or no, it'd be. Yeah, no, you're right, aren't you?
Run laps around him. Put the fear of Abadar in him.
Super fast.
The taxes are quick. Runs around in circles.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So, yeah. With I guess with that movement, I can get. See, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh yeah. So I can get here. Yeah, I can get here, right?
Yeah, you should be able to.
Yeah. So yeah, she's gonna be here a little perturbed that no one followed her. Say, when a lady asks you to dance, she doesn't like to be kept waiting. And then she's gonna try to cut him in half.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh,
That escalated quickly. Is there a rage or is it just swing in?
Just power attack.
Okay, fair enough. Well, that's a number. That is definitely a thing has been rolled. Okay, so what I tell my people when they do what you've done is when you've reduced him to an amount of hit points equal to less than his total con score. If you would please like to flavor that kill.
All right. So yeah, so she comes running around the corner, and she says what she says, and then just cleaves him. Just like her great sword kind of just comes down on his like clavicle and just like midway down through his chest. She kind of just wrenches it out as
he turns and just what and very dead. He collapses.
I'm gonna miss his accent though. I'm gonna be honest.
I will use that accent a lot. It's
right,
kind of my go-to, and I've been doing this lately in Age of Ashes. I want to do it here too. I'm gonna make it quick. Cal has the first kill and is leading the pack with 1 kill.
My assist meter goes up though.
Which is all you care about, Sportcaster.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
and I'm gonna look to Kato and be like, sorry, Fop. Hope you didn't want to talk to that one. And then I'm going to because I still have movement. Jesus Christ, I'm gonna go right here.
The thing about moving after that is after you make an attack.
Oh, you can't.
You can't until the spring attack feat. You can't do
Gotcha.
the movement between.
Okay. Well then, yeah, I guess I'll just have my turn.
Okay. So the goblin sees this and turns, oh Lord, Haps is down, run, flee, and looks like he's going to go bolt out into the wilderness. The other two who can like clearly see this, whereas the human has eyes for Kato right now, seem a little not quite there yet, and the orc wants to stab at Senia, and now I only have to track 1 stab block. Cool. +2. Boom. The 12 misses. These guys are so great. The best bandits you ever saw. And actually, I have a lot of folks go right now. Fair enough. Okay, so the shaken guy will 5-foot step and add nothing, basically.
-2.
Mr.
Good.
Roslyn Bravo, I would like to attack you. Do you have an immediate action? Because the reason I say that, I guess, for people who may be new, is if you would like to use the opportune parry and riposte deed, you have to declare it before the dice comes down. Yeah.
Sure, why not? Let's do it.
Alrighty. I've got a 10.
And I just make it at my full.
Yeah, you just make it
Full
as if you were making the attack
opposed.
of opportunity. Okie dokie. Yeah, it doesn't take it
I
doesn't
rolled a
take
19.
doesn't take Kato a
18.
lot of effort. It's just like this guy leans forward shaking, and it's a flash of the blade and a flick of the wrist, and this guy is off balance. Would you
And
care to riposte?
because I effectively so that'll use up that's an immediate action.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I will riposte.
Alrighty.
All right.
I love swashbucklers so much.
Am I allowed to power attack on my riposte?
And you are not, because it's treated as an attack of opportunity. You would
Correct,
have to
okay, yeah.
on your turn you are power attacking,
Yes.
and then that stays for a round.
That's okay. Cool. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, 22 hits for 10 slashing damage. if you would like to, he's not dead, but he is on the ground. If you'd like to flavor that, I won't say knockout, but that thing you did. There we go.
Yeah, so as the blade comes in, as this bandit comes in with his weapon, I very quickly and graciously deflect the sword, run the blade down his blade, and slash it across his chest as he does a twist and tumble.
And tumble and twist he
into a
does.
heap on the floor. Yes.
His insides are rapidly becoming his outsides, and it's on Ionia.
I will run up to. I think I can make it here, right?
Yeah, you should be able to.
And I'll do one of these.
Okay, yeah. That definitely hits. 4 damage on. The orc doesn't look good when you stab in on him, but he's still standing. You get him like somewhere in the ribs.
Question for GM real quick, just so I understand this. I only refund the panache on a killing blow, correct? So I would.
Technically speaking, he's dead, so you got the panache. You're fine.
I got it back. Okay.
Yeah. To prevent the fall to dastardly horribleness that is Kato has to stop and slit everyone's throat for mechanical value. Yeah, he's technically down. You have technically beat him.
Okay.
Okay. So speaking of Kato.
Now it's my real turn.
Yeah.
This is a pretty cool class. I
love it.
Right.
Yeah.
Wounded man.
Mm-hmm.
And approach the lizard thing. This time, putting my full swing. Yeah, so I will make an attack with, I will make a power attack here.
Okay. Unfortunately, 11, Oof. It bounces off the Uruxi's scales, turns and hisses at you.
Shame.
Shame indeed. So I think it's on me now. And this poor little goblin here realizes that the thing coming from behind them is much scarier and will 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 5, and then it is, from where the token is sitting, it is 5 squares further off the board.
Cal's gonna be like, come back here, you little snitch.
Nope, I'm gone. Don't pay me enough for this. Goodbye. And off it goes. And we're on Senia.
I will take a 5-step back.
Okay.
I like how this is the orc guy, the ugly lizard guy.
I
like this group already.
I wanted to do more than just here are 4 human bandits go, but yeah, in any case, that is a number. Not dead but dying if you'd like to flavor it.
I jump back and get him between the ribs.
Okay.
And ha!
And he collapses. His insides are I'll say the blood splatter contacts Ionia's shield, and there's the shimmer of magic that is there as the blood doesn't touch her or her boots as they fall and do a bleed. Not Ionia. I realized I tripped on a thing that was confusing. In any case, then the taxman cometh. I'm just always gonna say that when it's Artoris' turn.
No, we're good.
Or just start singing ghost lyrics, because that's the kind of vibe I get from the character, just not devil worshipping.
All right, let's see what we got here. I guess I gotta move, huh? See what's going on.
Least favorite activity.
So is it just the lizard guy?
The only one standing is the Uruxi, yeah.
Hmm.
And the goblin that's
You can't see that.
You probably
Yeah, oh.
hear the sounds of a goblin
Yeah.
in common screaming at the top of its voice as it runs past the horses.
damn it, one
Well,
goblin.
my buffs seem a little unnecessary here.
Nah, he ain't getting one.
I think Cal thinks the buff is very necessary.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool. I didn't know Inquisitors could do that. That's sweet.
So I'll just toss not a caltrop, but a whatever I call it. It starts with an O.
So I'm gonna
Toss
say
a crappy spell at him. That's what I'm gonna do.
Orison?
There it is.
Yeah. I was trying to think of what crossbow starts with an O.
Oh, cantrip?
Throwing some
Were you trying to
acid
think of
in his
can?
face. All right, so let me just make sure I don't need to move anymore. No, probably should.
You got roughly 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You have about 40 feet-ish.
5, 10, 15, 20. Actually,
Yeah, come hang out with us, Susker.
Getting melee.
I don't even think I can. I'm not getting in melee. You just watch yourself.
Hit them with your pointy Inquisitor stick.
Yeah.
Well, I can't reach. Pretty sure he's further than 25 feet away from me still, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
So I cast Detect Magic.
Okay, sure. So then, in the one round casting of Detect Magic, I will assume the cone is pointed towards the party. You detect the presence or absence of magic, and then it's several rounds more of concentration before any other information is gained. And then that means next up is old Cal.
Oh boy. Alright, so Cal's like, I know you're the one who saw me, little one. And then she comes running out. And she's going to try to non-lethal because she vaguely remembers someone saying they want to get some of these guys alive. So she's gonna try to like swat him in the back of the head with the flat of her blade, I guess.
All right, so at the moment you are not hasted. So your speed is what your speed is. He is.
Oh, it was only
Yeah, one turn.
So
that was
the goblin sits where the goblin sits, plus 5 squares more, basically.
oh, he's way out there.
Hmm.
He took off, man.
Yeah, he went full sprint. You can go full sprint after
I can go
him.
full sprint after him though, right? So I should be able to catch him though, because I got 40.
Okay, yeah, fair.
How close would that put me to him?
To move 80 feet from your square, 5, 10, 15, 20. You'd have like roughly 5 feet of movement ish left over, and you'd be able to catch up.
All right.
Cut him off.
Am I able to do any kind of like grabs or anything on him or anything?
You would use your standard action to move again, basically. So you'd move 40 and then move 40, and then end up right on top of him, and then next turn.
Right. Okay. So then that's what I'll do. I'll just be bearing down on him then.
Okay.
No,
See, no, shanks, please, no kill, and he drops his bow and holds his hands up. I give up.
that's a very wise decision, little one.
I'm very smart. Yeah. And really quickly, I'm gonna throw 2d20s at the board. Okay, understood. The lizard. What do you do, friend? Are you feared? In a similar fashion, the Iruxi drops their weapon, is no longer hostile with claws, and just, I surrender. The battle is over, you have won, but before we go any farther with things, there are 2 people bleeding out on the ground. Their fate is in your hands.
Well, I got 2 manacles and some rope.
I guess
I'm
to
gonna
be,
use
to
my.
be farther clear, without positive energy or a heal check, they'll bleed out and die on the ground.
Yeah, I'm going to attempt to. Oh,
You go. You're probably better at this.
I mean, I don't know.
You're gonna try to resuscitate them?
I'm gonna try and stop them from bleeding out with a heal check. Yeah.
Oh. Do we
What?
need this many?
Why are we gonna just? What
We don't just
separates us
murder
from
people.
them?
I mean, we can. I maybe stabilize the human, but the orc.
Oh my! I mean,
Absolutely the orc. I heal the orc.
Okay,
This-
an 11 is
Kato
not
shows
good
his
enough.
colors.
So
And I
really-
give Kato a very
just
harsh,
kidding. I'm
very
kidding.
harsh look.
And real quick, without a healer's kit, none of the heal checks will do anything, and an 11 is not a success anyway.
I have a healer's kit,
Okay. So
but since
Iania
she ran
tries
over,
to do a thing, and it's close, but she can't quite stop the bleeding.
since she ran over to the orc, I went to the human.
Oh my god.
He arises and fights anew.
Pulls his weapon.
So a heal check
Dagger.
in a 3.5 inverse edition, a heal check can't like give someone hit points on the spot.
Right.
But yeah, Artoris is able to stop the bleeding. In a couple days or so, he'll heal on his own.
Do I have the time to save the orc, or is he just?
You could, yeah.
All right, I will also attempt.
The
to
orc
do that.
wasn't near as bad off as the guy that got riposted was. He went down hard.
And I'm gonna walk over and I'm gonna punch Kato.
Uh-oh.
I will opportune parry and riposte.
Like, does the swashbuckler want to parry? Yeah, it's the fumble doesn't hurt anything, but I'm trying to think of what a rancer. A rancer is basically just a really long trident, and that went into him, and the wound is pretty messy. I'll say he was only at like -2, so
Time,
he's
right?
still
Or is
ticking
he-
down, and he'll be fine. You can try again.
Still kid
Yeah,
up.
like honestly, it comes to a point where
I
you just have to
can't.
weigh the.
All right,
Me-
they're stabilized.
Meanwhile, Cal comes in dragging a little impish.
Stop dragging! Let me go, nonsense! I walk. It's fine. I promise. No stab. No stab. Let go, please.
No, little one, this is what's fun for me.
No! Ah! Ah! And begins like clawing at the ground, trying to get away.
And I kind of toss him in the middle next to the dying orc.
Arf!
There, now. You're with your friends. Aren't you happy now?
No, no, and he turns towards the rest of the party. I'm gonna, and he tries to like sidle around towards. Yeah, I feel like I know what the taxman is. Please, taxman. I'm sorry. And he pulls out like a really dirty, grungy-looking copper piece, sets it at your feet. That's all I have. I'm sorry. Don't let her hurt me. And the goblin begins rubbing its big Yoda ears from whence it was pulled.
Oh wow. Okay.
Where's Cressel?
Should still be at the camp, I guess.
Well, little friend, you're going to take us there.
Wait, do we have a map? Do we have a map?
Yeah, you guys do. I can move you back to that if you guys would like.
Can we have him just mark it on the map?
We should probably restrain some of these people I hear.
Yeah. Esker, do your job.
I mean, if you want to restrain them, we can cut off a few feet at the ankle. They won't die immediately, right?
Oh my god.
All right.
We have to
Oh.
use more
I have-
charges of the healer kit.
I have rope. Esker
All
has.
right, yeah, I have some rope too. I'd like to save the manacles if we can. I don't have infinite manacles.
But we have hundreds and hundreds of feet of rope between us.
Your
so-
God not give you infinite manacles.
That's at higher level when the priests of Avatar get of Abadar rather get the like infinite splitting manacles.
So I'm saying we use I have some hemp rope. It's the cheapest. We should probably just use that, and bind their wrists behind their backs and maybe tie them down to a couple chairs.
I'll call the dogs out to kind of stand around them just to ensure that none of them try to run.
Sure. Okay.
We can put them in the stable. Is there a way to barricade them inside?
Yeah, you could. I mean, with their hands bound, they can't really do much. But you could also like tie the stable doors to like the rest of the like enclosure and keep it shut. And the goblin stammers and stutters, and I've put a green X on the board where the camp is.
Can I go check the body of the bisected guy?
Yeah, you certainly can. You would also recognize Haps Biden as well. Not the most important man on the face of Galarian, but was a wanted man in Restov.
Tibor goes and slices the only enemy.
I know, out of all of them, like
with
that's
a
the
name
one
and
that-
backstory. He just goes and the one I actually wanted to keep alive.
Yeah.
Well, you know. Okay, so searching over Haps, he is carrying. I will say this: I don't know who is the master of loot in this party, but now that we're there, someone may want to do that. 2 alchemist fires.
There's a way to make like a notepad kind of thing and roll 20, right?
Do you want me to make you guys one?
Yeah, and then
Sure.
we
Got
can
it.
keep track of loot on that. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. And well, right now that's hanging too, with my connection being as pippy as it is. So I'll make it when we get done with the first part here. I'll keep it on a sheet right now, and then I'll jump it in as we go. But
Sure.
I'll say it out loud now in case anyone wants to take any of it. 2 alchemist fires. He's also carrying leather armor, a dagger, a composite longbow with a +2 strength rating, 20 arrows, 2 days of trail rations, and 35 gold pieces. The tax man knows instinctively as he like picks up the coin purse and feels it. As well as this curious little silver amulet. It kind of looks like the skull of a stag. The horns are a little as if you were to take the horns and pull them to the back of the stag's head, so you're looking at it and you're looking at the top of a deer skull, but then the horns point forward coming out the back, and the string is attached to like the end of the horns. Artoris thinks it's probably worth like 20 gold.
Admiring my handiwork, Vilmaya.
I didn't laugh in character. I looked at you sternly in the character. Let's be clear about that. It would have been nice to have him alive.
That's not my fault he can't take a hit. Or
I'd like to do a perception check on the amulet
Okay, sure.
because I recognize the stag horns. They are very dear to my heart.
Alrighty, make it so.
But not that dear to your heart.
Yeah.
So it's pretty clear, I'll say, to Senia that the symbol that they are wearing is not a symbol of the Black Stags, nor is it anywhere near like anything to do with the worship of Erastil. Rather, it seems to be like indicating what group this guy ran with, basically.
So they'd mentioned earlier the people, Oleg and his wife mentioned earlier something about a bandit leader, Black Stag.
Black Stag is
Or not Black Stag, sorry. Stag
Lord.
Terra's Black Stag. Oh my god, I'm going to get those two mixed up so much.
Yeah, probably. Same.
Yes, the Stag Lord. So, is it safe to put 2 and 2 together?
Probably.
Ooh, we have a loot thing. Cool.
Yeah. It just goes real slow when I have a bunch of stuff running on this connection, but you guys have it now.
Yeah, we got it. Cool.
We should maybe hang on to that. It could come in useful later on if we should run into the rest of them.
DM, can you go ahead and throw the goblin's bow and arrow on there? Because I'm pretty sure I would have snatched that up.
Yeah, the bandits are all carrying they don't have nearly as much stuff. They have all right, yeah, I think editing it is something I can do without my computer's internet connection going pippy. But they are carrying, all told, amongst the orc, human, Irusi, goblin, the 4 of them there, 40 gold pieces, 8 days of rations, 4 short swords, 4 longbows, 80 arrows, and 4 sets of leather armor.
Mundane tools.
Basically.
I might actually sub out this spear for a longbow.
It's not a bad idea to have both a melee and a ranged weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 'cause if someone actually runs up on you, you can't. Well,
Unless you have
I mean,
point
it's your
blank.
job to make sure that doesn't happen.
barring feats, yeah, you're not going to be able to. You're going to be defenseless.
I guess one thing I will say, though, is I didn't expect someone to give haste to somebody at first level. That was wild. I like it. That was real cool.
It seems really powerful at level 1.
Yep. Yepper.
I'm hoping it will carry me until I can actually do things on my own.
Yeah.
I assume it will.
Oh man, I got a +1 on an attack too. I forgot. Didn't I?
Didn't need it.
Indeed. Okay. As you guys are going through like the bodies and things, Oleg and Svetlana come out, and Svetlana has gone to do the talking as Oleg kind of like gives a couple of the bodies a kick for good measure, and then goes back about his business. And, thank you all. I assume they'll be back, but without you, I'm sure it was only a matter of time before they grew too bold. And then she starts shuddering at the like dying horribly to bandits. As far as we're concerned, if you'd like to stay here at the trading post, you could stay free of charge, and your dogs and mules and horse as well, and we'll feed and stable and house everyone.
Well, I don't think we can stay long. We've got our own business to attend to.
Of course.
But
of course.
what is our plan with these bandits?
Yeah.
Well,
The
A
job's
matter
not
of
even. The job's not done.
It's true.
That's
This halted raid may not prevent them from coming back. In fact, it may embolden them to come with greater numbers if we don't cut the head off of this this beast.
And it's frightened easily, but they'll be back.
And in greater numbers.
And in greater numbers, they march in single file to hide their numbers.
Oh my god. Okay.
Actually, also what I want to do really quickly, because they're there, and it was in the chat, I'm going to roll percentage dice for it, because there was a very big angry woman and a goblin go run past them. The percentage dice say that 3 out of the now I'm brain farting how many horses there were. I'll say 2 of the horses remain. The other 3 have bolted off somewhere into the stolen lands.
Oh, neat horses.
Well, we can carry more loot now.
You can. You can also cover ground a little quicker.
Horses will come in handy. That doesn't look like that. It looks like that camp of theirs is it's a good ride from here.
Mm-hmm. But so someone should probably secure those horses in the stable.
Mm-hmm.
I'll help with that.
Okay. Can you guys make handle animal checks for me? Yep. Good. Senia is real. Even the DC is like 5. These things aren't hostile. They at first they're a little wigged out about what's happened, but you two are able to calm them down and lead them back over to the stables. At this point, things are stabled outside because we're at capacity now. But
Mm-hmm. As
you
long
can
as
add
they're
2 more horses to the zoo that we're actually. This AP is now called Zoomaker, and we're going to travel the world. Look at our animals.
We have a menagerie.
we
Yeah,
have a traveling petting zoo.
and not one druid. 2. Okay. The floor is basically on you guys at this point, as I'm just really quickly jamming all the loot in here.
okay. So these ruffians, I take my sword and sort of hold it at each of their throats for a moment now that they're bound to the chairs. What do we do with them? We can't just leave them here, obviously. You've gotten the information
The old couple sent for guards. The guards will pick them up. We can leave them.
if they come.
And
If the
and you expect these fine people to feed and house these people who were terrorizing them?
Yeah, that could be days,
we know.
weeks, months. Yes.
And what do you suggest we do?
Easy. We like I said, just cut off a hand or two. I've known many men with less one hand and one foot, and they still get along quite well.
We bind their hands, tie them to the backs of the horses, and have them follow behind us on foot.
So
That's
that
not a bad
way,
idea.
when we assault their main camp, we bring them reinforcements. That's a great
Yeah.
plan. I really
No,
like it.
I'm not taking these guys with us. That's not happening. If you don't have the stomach to kill them, just like I said, just bodily injure them. It's fine.
We're
It's
not
fine.
maiming our prisoners.
What do you want to do? You don't have a prison to cape
Yeah,
them. You don't have a way to hold them. So the best thing to do is to let them have their lives, but make sure they understand that they cannot hurt us anymore.
Ideally,
Or Olga.
ideally we would ship them back to Rostov, but that's a 3-day. It's a 3-day journey by foot. Though with horses, with a horse, it would be a lot quicker, like significantly. Does someone want to take a horse?
Well, we have
And
3
then-
horses.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly.
How about we
many-
give them stern instructions to take themselves back?
No, someone would have to take.
You
How
go turn
many-
yourselves in. You've done
Go
bad.
turn yourselves in like good bandits.
Well, we have what, 4 prisoners?
Yeah.
And only 3 horses. We would need 1 person to escort them.
2 can fit on the goblin, and 2 can fit on 1, as we learned when they approached. The goblin does, and plus 1 other.
We're going to slow down the expedition to do
Tommy.
prisoner transport.
So you said it was a 3-day journey back to town, but that I imagine was because we were on foot and bringing the mules with us and the dogs.
Correct.
How long would that journey take horseback
On
as like a
horseback?
direct?
I will. There's actually
It's
a
a direct
table
route.
for this. One of those, every one of those hexes you guys see on the board is 12 miles of travel. You guys will, of course, be, unless we want to be horrible and leave someone behind, you'll be moving at the speed of the slowest person. With a horse, you can cover one of those hexes real quick compared to, I think the slowest move speed in the party is 20. Is that a fair statement? Someone with the hide armor? I think Ionia has a move speed of 20 right now.
Yeah, we would
to,
send one person with
deliver
the
prisoners.
Okay.
with the bound prisoners who would be bound to the horses, and then they would drop them off with the authorities, ride back with the horses.
Gotcha.
And,
Okay,
and
actually,
I hope
it's
you
moving at 20 feet.
And then that person could also deliver the message that they need reinforcements here.
Yeah.
Yes, could tell tell them of what happened and make sure that gets done.
So this is kind of not assuming. It's assuming rather that you have 8 hours of travel in a day, 8 hours of sleep in a day, and then combination of like stopping for food and stopping to do like class relevant things, 8 hours of some kind of downtime. Crossing a hex with a move speed of 20 is 8 hours, but the horse's move speed of 40 takes 4 hours. So you'd literally cut the time in half.
a day and a half trip.
So 3-day total trip there and back.
Right.
A day and a half with
Also-
dangerous prisoners.
Actually,
prisoners.
I stand corrected. I thought a horse moved at 40. They move at 50. Each one of those is 3 hours. So it'd be 18 hours all told to down and back.
Also, remember, 2 of our prisoners are barely holding themselves together right now.
Wait, so it'd be less than a day there and back?
We
so
may
two of them would still be unconscious during the whole
Yeah,
time.
2 are unconscious and probably shouldn't be making that kind of trouble. Wouldn't it make more sense for one person, our fastest person, to take their horse back to town, get the authorities to come out to the...
Well, our
To the outpost.
personal speeds aren't going to matter if we're on horseback.
Correct.
Why don't we just send the old guy?
That's
Give
a
him-
terrible idea.
If-
If-
He
if
can
him-
go
anything-
tell the authorities. We can continue on our way.
If we're going to send one person, would most likely be you.
Kato or Artoris make the most sense, yeah.
Yeah, Vilmaya doesn't sound such a great plan after all, does it? So,
No, we're not cutting limbs off. Or parts of limbs.
Then
This is
heads then.
this is normal in Rostov. People have their heads cut off all the time for stealing.
Can
It's
we
true.
administer justice here?
The thing about justice here is justice. We're really every time I say that word, I want to go full Death Note. I want you guys to know I'm restraining myself so hard right now. But
Eat a potato.
God damn. Justice. There it is. All right, I'm good. Justice here is kind of arbitrary. There is no.
If we were in Rostov, how would theft be handled?
Yeah.
Or like banditry.
These guys
Or
are
banditry,
probably
yeah.
repeat offenders coming from places that major powers have an eye on. They would probably just execute them. In some lighter cases, it might be that you're just imprisoned. You might just pay a fine. Sometimes the removal of the hand for like as like a medium punishment for like I have stolen some stuff a bunch, but nothing super bad does occur, but it's not as often as either just imprisoning someone or flat hanging them.
So execution is a common punishment for this type of crime.
We're
part
also
of
kind of
the-
assuming that these people are murderers and like a lot of things as well.
Yeah, that's not for us to decide.
Part of the duties of the Church of Abadar is delivering justice. So
Yeah, there's
it actually
there's
is very
certain
much for you
people.
to decide.
There's different people to decide. I'm
There
a
are
tax master.
People over top of Artoris's head.
I am
He
not
wants
the
to-
entirety of the Church of
Look at
Abadar.
him! Look at him!
Though-
No, but you are
his responsibility.
you
to
are
these
the
people's lives.
authority here.
We have two. All right. Hold on. We have two real options. All other options are not. We're not leaving them here so that Oleg and his wife can feed and house them until they decide to bugger off and rob someone else. We either turn them in back at the town, which involves a round trip, either one person or multiple people, however we decide to do that, or we hang them.
I really don't understand why we can't just say, all right, we're off to take care of the camp. You go to town, let them know that you have prisoners here. And then he goes and does that.
You want to send two elderly, one.
I also like
We can
to
give him a horse. We can give him
also
two
like
horses.
to I also like to make a further point. This would also be setting a precedent. So, like, we're about to run up into a bandit camp, and we're going to send all of those guys back that survived.
This has suddenly become a Telltale game, and
I
bandits
know,
don't remember
seriously.
Yeah.
They have no idea what happened here. You caught the goblin, and even he wouldn't have known.
No, I mean, we're going to the camp, right? That's the plan.
That is the plan.
And say we take over said camp. We have now possibly a cadre of villainous characters. Do we send those all back? And then as we move further into this land, do we continue to send more people
it
back?
sounds like you're making a great case for why we should send somebody to go tell the authorities, and then they'll come and pick up.
Part of what we've been hired to do is clear out the bandits of the area.
Yeah. Let's just clear them out.
My vote is
if the
my
common
vote is,
punishment for banditry is hanging, then I say we hang them.
I'll take them back myself before I let any of you hang.
And
You don't have that authority to make that decision.
And that's why Cal.
I think we literally have been given that authority when we were sent on this mission. We were given the authority to deal with bandits.
Cal's being a little sympathetic by saying we cut off a hand. I'm just saying that's the sympathetic.
It's also a little like the narrative has changed a little. It's not necessarily that you have the authority to, like, you have been given a mandate from Rostov to kill all the bandits. It's more of we are swinging this one a little closer to the party in terms of like Cato's parents have financed this to improve the standing of Cato's family's house. How the bandits are dealt with are up to you guys, though.
Yeah, so I would say that, barring, and I will obviously defer or take, the counsel of our Inquisitor of Abadar, but I think we have the authority to dispense justice here if this is going to be our kingdom, right? This is not going to be a part of Rosslyn. This is going to be an independent nation when all things are said and done, or that's the intent.
Mm-hmm.
So this will be our first act on how we dispense justice to those who would pillage and murder, the helpless.
Makes sense. Whale team.
I mean, I think as an Inquisitor of Abadar, with there being no official law enforcement around, I think that Urators are kind of by default the highest ranking authority here in these kinds of matters.
That's probably a fair statement.
And I am deeply troubled by what I'm hearing from each of you.
Yeah.
Here's also the problem: is we're being sent here very discreetly. If we march back to Rostov every time, or we need to bring some prisoners back or whatever, we're going to start attracting a lot of attention. Like, where are these people coming from and bringing these bandits from? Like, well, wait, there's a party down there in the Stolen Lands that are doing stuff. Like, we're told here to be very discreet because we're doing this sort of. Our time uses 5 minutes. So, I mean, there's also, we need a bit of autonomy as well, or whatever. However you say that word. Anonymity here as well, because we can't rely on the established land, cities to the north for too much, and certainly nothing that would cause draw attention to ourselves.
So I think the dissenting opinion of the Inquisitor has been noted, and I think we've made a decision on what to do.
Okay. So then,
I mean, at this point, I think it's kind of a 2v3, right?
Who's the 2? Who's the second? And
I mean, while I agree with the rest of you, ultimately, I believe that the Inquisitor of my deity has the authority here. So if he thinks we should bring them back, ultimately I'll side with him, even if I personally disagree.
And I will vehemently protest the angle that will not cause any potential risks to our expedition by exposing what we're doing here.
You're rationalizing murder and you know it.
While still tying the nooses, Cal's gonna look up. One more point I'd like to make about simple taking of the hands. It would do good. It would do wonders for spreading the word of you, foppish one. If sow a little fear in the common rabble, if you will. Let people know that you are not one to be trifled with. So we hang most of them. We let one live with minus a hand or a foot, whichever.
The goblin wasn't the goblin cooperative from the
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, basically as soon as their leader was killed.
He also shot an arrow
at me.
At the unarmed one here.
That missed wildly, and he gave us the location of the.
It's true. He was quick to give up his.
Exactly why I say he's very talkative. So we take his hand, and I think our name will spread far and wide.
Because he is a yappy one.
Yep, I talk a lot. I'm gonna tell everybody all about you guys. Mm-hmm.
See, he is so smart. Thank you, little one.
Welcome. I just love Pathfinder goblins a lot, it turns out.
Same.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is we're going to send one of them out into the wild and then hang the rest. I know there's a lot of dissenting opinions right now.
that's Cal's position.
Okay, got you.
I agree to let the goblin go. He did give us the information. That's repayment for that is his life. So
You sure you want him to have all his hands and feet?
I want to have all my hands and feet.
Oh, I know you do, little one. That's fine.
I think the way this one is going to talk will be sufficient to get the point across.
Very well. Push over.
I mean, there has been no justice dealt for his past crimes, though.
Exactly.
So what message is he gonna send? He's gonna go out there and say,
We've taken all his gold.
"Oh, these new people, in charge are gonna let us get away with whatever we want."
Based on the way the goblin is shaking, you imagine the line goes something like, "Tried to raid Oleg's place, were stopped, people died, armed defenses."
Cap,
The point is, with no
our leader
punishment
went
for
down.
him, we're sending a message that we're going to allow banditry.
I mean, we didn't do any damage to him at all. He just took off.
No,
So
he's
he
never
doesn't
got
even
into
look-
melee. He's got not a scratch.
I didn't even get the black in his eye.
Oh, you poor thing.
I know you wanted to non-lethal him, but didn't quite get there.
Did not. When you run up to the boss and you hit him for enough damage to take him from full hit points to dead in one go, yeah, people are good. But in any case,
We need to make a decision.
yeah.
But you want to be a lord, lordling. Lord.
Well, I've made my stance clear.
Okay. What do you? So we're letting the go with no incident.
I mean, we've taken all his belongings, and he gave up information. He's also like the most helpless, pathetic little thing.
Yeah.
That's
certainly
fine
not-
with me.
He's certainly not the
I
brains
will
behind
not
the
say
operation.
that sending an unarmed humanoid into the wilds is a death sentence, but like, it's a what I want to say. It's not a life sentence. It's should something bad happen to him between here and wherever it is they go, he'll be at an obvious disadvantage. But that doesn't necessarily mean he'll just like take 5 steps outside the fort and then spontaneously combust as tigers fall on him. Oh no! Dead goblin.
Well, maybe
11 days!
maybe this is a solution. Maybe we strip them of their equipment, send them off in different directions, and let Abadar determine their fate.
I don't like that.
I would be agreeable to that.
Why don't we take the goblin with us?
Well,
GM
Abadar
easy.
may have that might be Abadar's idea of justice, but Gorham says, "To the winner go the spoils," and these men's lives are ours. To give them away shows weakness, incredible amount of weakness. Letting one live is one thing, but letting them all live, well,
I mean, without their equipment, they likely won't.
yes, but there's a difference between being passive and being assertive and effective.
I'm about to start coup de grace people if we don't.
We've hit that more.
Exactly.
I guess one thing I will say, as Cal brings that up, yeah, as far as Gorham is concerned, and I guess I'm trying to bounce all the religions in the party here real quick. For only one character does it matter, obviously, but so far as Gorham is concerned, they have lost off with their heads. So far as Kyrgyz is concerned, they've lost pat on the shoulder, good sportsmanship. Kyrgyz is weird. I don't know what Kyrgyz is doing here.
What is Kyrgyz on about?
Kyrgyz is the god of professional sports, and that's
Yeah.
awkward. Erastil, I guess we're kind of leaning on what Erastil would. Yeah, let them go. They did the thing. One of them is repentant. Maybe they can make something of themselves in the future. I won't say that like Artoris isn't gonna like fall on the spot, but Abadar would see justice dealt to them. I suppose in letting them go, it is, I won't say it is the best justice, but it is some form of, what's the word? I guess like recompense for their actions. You are absolute law, and if you feel as someone who is the direct line to Abadar that is the punishment that fits the crime, then it's good.
I'm just worried they're gonna run.
I've already made
back to
3
beat
nooses.
Yeah, Oleg looks at the nooses favorably, and he's got a second bowl of stew that he's happily wolfing down, waiting to watch the show.
God damn it, Oleg. These are the people who have been, like, terrorized by these bandits. What's their-
we'll put him, and his mouth is very full of food at this point, as he's still just, where you gonna hang him? Serve as a warning to the other bandits, you understand.
Yeah, it's fine. We could even hang them outside the gate. That'd
Exactly,
be fun.
yes, wonderful.
Yeah. That way, any bandits that do come back will see dead bandits.
You all see Cal scamper up the ramp, up the ladder.
Just with childish glee. Ha 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 ha.
Esker's grown completely silent.
Okay. Is that then the plan? Do we the goblin is set free, everyone else is hung?
I would just like to see justice dealt to them in some way.
Sure. Does anyone
Outside
have
of that,
any dissent with? I feel like that's where the talk
I think
has
that's the
gone.
majority. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So unless someone quickly interrupts me.
Clear.
I'm sorry, my internet pooped.
I said I've made my position clear.
Okay, so then off we go
These
with it.
bandits have abused these people's hospitality, and these people deserve justice.
Justice. Okay.
Justice!
I don't have a pen on me, or I would just. Well, I have an insulin pen. That'll work. Justice. There it is. We did it. The three, the Iruxi, the human, and the orc are unceremoniously hung over the fort. The goblin scurries off. That's where we're gonna call it for today. We'll be back at it with more of. I'll call it Moral Dilemma Maker. Maybe that's the name of our adventure path. But thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more stuff, and we will see you soon. Say bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.